You know, before YouTube fucked it all up, I had the greatest job in the world, opening for Hypnocast every night.
But then we got the call, and YouTube hammered us for Moxie's tits.
So now I'm jobless and broke with nowhere to go.
Your phone ringing.
Oh,
Your
the phone
ringing.
is ringing.
Big boy, come pick up your phone. How you know pick up your phone? Your phone.
Hello, this is the Gopher. Who is it?
Hello, Gopher. The time is now. Hypnocast Season 3 is here, and we want you back.
Holy shit, boys, we are back in business. That son of a bitch is gonna scream any minute now. Let the show begin.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Probably all agree you can't cut 12-year-old Timmy's cock off.
Yeah. I like how you said cut for like half a second.
Yeah. Well, it's cut and cock, and it came out cuck, and yeah, that's. Whoops! Oh fuck! Oh no! Mistakes were made.
He's been waiting in the shadows patiently.
I just smashed JT the fuck out of this.
Your face is turning red.
Yeah, because I know that the next SNH I'm gonna be fucked.
Oh yeah.
But at least I
with a
won't be
horse
fucked.
cock.
That's an unknown part of the map, so I didn't see it yet. Could I survive if I jump? Nope. Nope. Nope.
America, the greatest country in the world?
No.
If you were offered a one-way ticket to leave the country, never come back, but it's all expenses paid, would you accept that offer?
I don't think that I would leave. I wouldn't leave either.
Wow.
Oh, I just took it. I did that. I took it with me. Oh shit.
Yo.
It's always the black people holding everybody else down.
Time out. All right. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to bed. I'm tired. Tired of this shit. This communist ass game, whatever. Just doesn't want
Somebody
me to play.
else got it. You didn't get in.
Yeah, it's just a lot of racism today. All right. Y'all have fun. I'll just continue to watch and go concede.
Sounds good.
And look at this motherfucker pretending he's gonna watch more Stranger Things.
Yeah, you know he's gonna watch Stranger Things all day. Either that or like some game or something.
Doesn't mean I don't have my phone next to me. You know?
Watching porn.
That's tomorrow. Okay, bye.
MILF Hunters Part 14.
Now, Hypno, I could have hit you with a shuriken. I opted not to because I'm a good friend.
That's fucked up, you liar. You're a liar. You're an absolute liar. You're a liar. I knew it. Never trust white people.
Thank you, and I would have done it. You could have said thank you, but you said like, yeah,
Because I knew you were gonna do it. All right. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Hypnocast. That's right. We are live, boys. We are live. We're going to dive down the rabbit hole that is known as the internet. But before we do that, you need to bring it in close, ladies and gentlemen. My God. Bring it in close. Holy shit. Look, everybody's here now. All of a sudden, everybody's here. All the comments throughout the entire week. They were like, hey, where are you? What are you doing? Why'd you disappear? Where are you? I don't get it. Where are you? Get in here. Let's go. Come on. We got to hug it out. You guys know how it goes at the beginning of every single fucking stream. Get in here right now. We need to hug it out. All I got to tell you is avoid old man Cad's dick because for some reason his dick is out. I don't know why. We really don't have an answer. Like we don't have an answer as to why old man Cad takes his dick out for the hugging. I have no idea. But bring it in and listen very closely. If you are watching on YouTube officially, again, like the stream. Do it. Now, if you are watching on Rumble, the place where we managed to solidify not only our viewership, but our tiers for the entire 7 days that I was banned. I'm sure the haters don't like hearing that. Like the stream. Like the stream. And if you are watching over there on Twitter with the bots, even though Twitter was good for notifying people that I was banned, although it only worked for about 10% of you, like the stream. That's right. That's right. And if you're watching anywhere else, you're gay. I really don't know what to say. Like you suck. Like that's it. It's impossible. Like there's no way you're watching anywhere else. Like the stream. Don't let it happen to you. Can I get a mic check, please? Mic check, titty check, balls check. What are we checking, boys? What are we checking today? Obviously, we got a lot to talk about. Holy shit. I have like 15 tabs open. I don't know how I'm going to get through all of it, but God knows I'm going to try. I'm absolutely going to try. But what else are we checking, ladies and gentlemen? What are we checking today? Big story. Obviously, Overwatch story is pretty huge. The Steam machine officially or semi-officially being delayed pretty much. But what else? What else we got, man? What else we got? The chat is flying. Look at this shit. What else we got, boys? What are we checking? Welcome back, mate. Check. Thank you. I felt like something was missing the last week. You should have known. You should have known, but I understand. Check to the check to the check. According to Dart Dimos, my tentacle man is bougie check. The checky check. Welcome back, Hypno check. Thank you, Sonia. Slappy Sammy check. Frosty the Snowman check? The fuck? Welcome back, check from Cassie. Thank you. Welcome back, check from Smash. Thank you. Rachel is dead. Come on, bro. It's too soon. It's too soon to remind me of what the fuck we just saw in the last stream. Okay, it's too soon. Come on, man. We just ended on a God damn it. We just ended on a cliffhanger. Okay, you can't be talking about that. All right, it's Hypnocast. Keep that for Griffcast. God damn it. What else we got? Sub Grifter check. What's going on, man? How you doing? Always check Rumble if Hypno vanishes check. Absolutely. We're going to talk about that. Definitely. You haven't uploaded any manga content check. Well, that's because I was banned. And when I'm banned, I can't use any of my channels for 7 days. So there you go. Dinosaurs in the mist check. Oh, okay. Well, that's definitely interesting. I can't stop seeing heresy check. Well, that's not good. That's not good. What else? You killed someone check? Nope. I probably would have got a less sentence if I did. Last day of work check. Very nice. All right, boys, listen. ESG scores are at their maximum. We're fully funded, man. Like the stream. Let's go. Let's go. Let's do the Bigot Army roll call. Let's see who is hanging out with us in the chat right now. Shit, like the new layout. Yeah, see, like I had designed all of this. I had like set up the whole custom chat thing and everything. But unfortunately, it only really works with YouTube and Twitch. And I think Kick. But it doesn't work with Rumble, sadly. I wish it did. Otherwise, this would be great. But I think it looks amazing. I like it. I like the whole design. It's exactly what I've been trying to go for. All right, but let's see who's hanging out with us today in the chat, man. Who is finally here? We got YouTube, Rumble, Twitter. Everybody's here. As people come into the stream, like the stream, don't be gay. We got Ali Kusanagi in the chat. What's going on, brother? We got Creepier07. We got Melody Johnson. We got PK, the one and only. We got Bolski. Cozy Goober. We got Matthew Watson. What's going on, dude? Thank you. I appreciate that. Dietrich over on Rumble. Shout out to Dietrich Romanizer 24. We got Sonya Lisette. We got The Voice in the Water. We got Charlie Nuclear. A kicking Danitz. What's going on, dude? Colonel Ruv. Luck E-Boy. Christopher Lloyd. Commander Sonak. The Gaming Wolf 87. Monkey Man 04. Setsuna Shadow. Old Man Cad. The King Joker 85. Radoka. Dylan B. Ava. We got Dark Tenave. We got Matt Stanford. Dragon. Magni. Katie Astronaut. D. Smith. Mystic Vegeta. We got Colonel Ruv. Destiny Sutton. We got Ron DFK. Tim Grove. Sleeping Nova. Kurakami over on Rumble. We got Black Tailgate. Blue-Eyed Scorpio. We got Black RX 99. Charlie Nuclear. Alice Lovely. Backbone over on Rumble. And Tren. We got Extra Hall. I am Ted Bovis. Fluffy Murder Machine with all kinds of hieroglyphic shit. I don't know what that is. What is that? Like unknown Pokemon or something? We got Dart Dimos confirming that he is here this time. We got Oliver Adam, Raging D-Head. All right, 4 more people, boys. 4 more people that we got to get on with the show, man. We got a lot that we got to talk about, man. 4 more people. Let's go. Who's here? We got Pay It Forward over on Rumble. We got Valiant Goat. Your mic is backwards. No. My mic is exactly where it needs to be, sir. It's exactly where it needs to be, which is away from my face because I don't want it blocking my face. Thank you. We got Mookie Dookie over on Rumble. We got Creepy07. We got Dade 404. John D. We got Dragon. We got Triple M Productions. We got Valiant Goat. We got, who else is here, man? Who else is here? We got Matthew saying, hello, Priest. What's going on, dude? We got our cuz. Hypnotic was deported from LameTube. I definitely was, man. Hypnotic got deported by ICE that was hired by YouTube. Black Tailgate, thank you. I appreciate that. Panthera doesn't know whether he's here or not. And last but not least, we got Blue Octopus screaming at the top of her lungs. We got Full Metal 921. We got Smash JT giving the salute. We got Adair Soto. We got King Demon Wing says he's here for a good time. And hopefully a long time. We got Real Life Fake Wizard saying he liked the stream. That's a good thing. That's what needs to happen. Liking the stream needs to happen. And we got Judge Magister Gabrandt. We got a lot of people here today, boys. We got Zark41, the King of Demise. We got, who else is here? Lightferret over on Rumble. We got Mr. Blue Cthulhu. What's going on, dude? And we got Fractal Mage. We got Marius. We got Torin all on Rumble saying not it. And we got Nick Havoc, Gray Soul, Gray the Merchant, Shinphil, Dragatello, Tim Grove, Kalen, and we got Jinxan, Yamato 85. All right, boys, listen. And Air Razor X, I called out as many people as I possibly could, like the fucking stream. So listen, boys, considering that for the last 6 days, we were giving YouTube the money shot because, well, they deserve it. Okay, they just deserve the money shot. So what we're going to do is, since this is technically the 7th and the last day, what we are going to do is celebrate the return to YouTube by congratulating YouTube and giving them the money shot officially for the last day out of the 7 days. So congratulations to YouTube. You are the recipients of your 7th in a row money shot today.
What the?
Like the stream, boys. All right, guys, listen. We got a lot we got to talk about today. So buckle down, get some fucking popcorn, get a drink, get something. I don't know. Figure it out. But we got a lot we got to talk about today. Obviously, we're going to be talking about why I was banned on YouTube, which is, pretty obvious reason. But anyway, I'm going to talk about it because apparently people still don't know. After like a week plus of this going on, people still don't know. So we're going to talk about it. We're also going to talk about the Overwatch 2 situation. Oh, I'm sorry. The Overwatch situation. Apparently, that should be illegal. You should not be able to say, hey, yeah, we're going to call this Overwatch 2. We're going to be offering you a sequel. And then once you realize that you didn't offer anything that you promised in terms of a sequel, you're going to dial it back and you'd be like, yeah, you know what? We're just going to call it Overwatch. That should be fucking illegal, bro. Like, what the fuck is that? Anyway, we're going to talk about the situation with Overwatch because that is ridiculous. We also got the Steam machine being potentially delayed, most likely, due to the rise in RAM costs. We have to talk about that whole situation because that's a thing. We got a million fast topics, boys. We got Black Myth Wukong potentially coming to the Nintendo Switch 2. We all know how much that game is awesome. We also got to talk about No Rest for the Wicked, which is another video game that we're probably going to be playing on SNH Plays. So stay tuned for that. It just recently added co-op, 4-player co-op to the game. It is doing unbelievably well. It hit another sales milestone. We got to talk about that. Another Assassin's Creed veteran designer has left Ubisoft after 2 decades of working with them. We got to talk about that. We also got to talk about Mind's Eye. Apparently, Mind's Eye just released a massive post-launch update, and apparently an expansion is coming later this year. What is happening with this game? How is this game still alive? I don't understand. We got to talk about it. We got to figure out what's going on there. We also got to cover this anime action RPG studio called Pado Labs that apparently pulled an Ashes of Creation where it raised $17.5 million in funding and then closed down. So we got to talk about that. And we're also going to talk about the Turkish government because apparently they're proposing legislation that will throttle Steam and any other gaming platform into basically being unusable if they don't comply with demands for the company data and censorship. It's an insane fucking story, ladies and gentlemen. Insane story. So we got to talk about that as well because it's crazy. And then we're going to do a follow-up, by the way. We're going to do a follow-up on the Ashes of Creation situation where obviously you guys know that MMORPG just randomly got canceled and the studio got completely felted and shut down over the last couple of days. And more information, like I told you guys, was going to be coming out. And now apparently Steam has officially frozen the funds that were going to go to the developers or at least to the studio. They froze all the funds and apparently they're giving some players refunds for Ashes of Creation, even people that played more than 2 hours. So pretty wild story. We gotta follow up on that and see what's going on with that situation. No indie games because we're gonna be packed today with topics. So we got a lot that we gotta cover. But before we do that, boys, we got to get into pre-stream legends, man. Let's get into the pre-stream legends. Let's thank the people that are going the extra mile, especially considering we were banned for a week. We were banned for a week, but I want to give a special shout out to Rumble, man. Rumble held it down for the 7 days we were banned. And while it is not fully equivalent to being on YouTube in terms of viewership, revenue, or whatever, I don't care. We were sitting there. We were hanging out. We were all having a good time for those that were hanging out there. And the plus side is we managed to keep our tiers, ladies and gentlemen. So even though YouTube tried to kill our tiers, we managed to still get to 553 tier 1s in a row and 245 tier 2s in a row. So the streak is continuing because Rumble was goated during the ban, as always. So thank you, guys. Appreciate you. And because they were so goated during the ban, we're actually going to start with Rumble usually. We normally start with YouTube because YouTube has a lot more supers to go through. But we're going to start with Rumble, man. We're going to start with Rumble. And guess what the first dono was on Rumble? Guess what that was? It was a $100 Red Boy Hyper Banger from Toro. Here we go! Mucha lucha, mucha lucha. It's the way of life. Mucha lucha. He said, we on Rumble got your back, bro. That is unbelievable. Shout out to fucking Torno, bro. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate that. I don't think you put what clip you want. Oh, he says if he has fairies, we'll be fine. My man wants fairies. We're starting off with fairies.
All right, boys, it's another Red Boy Hyper Banger. Let's bring the ladies in.
Tornal for the $100 Red Boy Hyper Banger over on Rumble, starting us off. I appreciate that, my man. That is 1 out of 5 Red Boys. You can't tell on YouTube because obviously it wasn't on YouTube, but that counts, man. That is a 1 out of 5 Red Boy for the night. I appreciate that. We got D Draconic, the legend on Rumble, for $1, says congrats on breaking out of YouTube jail. Thank you. I appreciate that. We got Gray the Merchant for $1 on Rumble. More felting. Shit, Romeo as Dead Man caught my attention very much. Keeping my eyes out for now, keeping the toil up. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I think that game looks pretty good. It was a bit shocking at first, but it looks good. Deadeye's Log with $1 says Overwatch went full wet blanket mode. Never go Hello Kitty collaboration. Yeah, like I said, we're going to talk about it, but I think the whole situation with Overwatch is ridiculous. Like, there has to be some legality that is, that is there. I just don't understand how that's possible. D Draconic also gives some membership over on Rumble. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, my good guy. All right, we are caught up on Rumble. Thank you, Rumble, again for everything. Much appreciated. And as I always say, and I will remind you guys during the whole conversation about the ban, you need to make sure that you're subscribed to my Rumble. And I know, like, I've been using Rumble for since since like when? For a while. I've been using Rumble for like 3.5 years now, or 3 years, something like that. And it's great for situations like this, but I'll explain anyway. All right, so we got Mr. Melancholy with a 5, says unofficial moderators. He's so hateful and intolerant. Crying emoji. Us coping and seething. Welcome back, Hypno. Thank you, Mr. Melancholy. I appreciate that, my guy. Fucking legend, dude. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. King Demon Wing showing his status, man. Shout out to King Demon Wing. Make sure you guys spam the King Demon Wing fucking emojis in the chat. Spam the King Demon Wing emojis in the chat. He dropped a 10 membership banger. Shout out to this guy.
Fucking go! It's a membership banger!
And considering that is the first one of the stream, we have the return of Kiryu to YouTube, because you already know what that means. Shout out to King Demon Wing. Thank you so much, my man. 10 memberships. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much, man. You already know. You're insane in all the best ways. I appreciate that. We also got a kickin' Danitz. I know I'm saying his name wrong. I don't care. 1 membership. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate that. Anubis Hentai Hades with a 5 bud says I was gonna send out the Canadian Geese military to look for your body. Every night I went, where's Hypno? And I find out you got banned, laughing my ass off. Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of people just don't know. They don't know, and it's kind of sad. Makes me sad, but you know what? It is what it is. No matter how many times I tell people, hey, here's what you do if I disappear for more than a day. Unfortunately, people just forget. So it is what it is. And by the time it happens, I can't warn you that it happened because, well, it happened. So that's it. Gray the Merchant for 12 months says a year. Super Saiyan, let's fucking go. Fuck YouTube for holding my boy for a week. Held out ground to felt. Suffer YouTube. Suffer, motherfucker. Thank you, Gray the Merchant. I appreciate that, man. Legendary. 12 months. Officially a Super Saiyan. Dragon with a 2. Hypno's power is unlimited. I wouldn't say unlimited, but I appreciate that regardless. Gray Soul for 7 months. Still can't set up my wallet on Rumble. Shit is frustrating. I followed others' instructions, but there was not options. I do know Rumble's a little bit annoying when it comes to setting up like donos and stuff like that. Totally get it. Shout out to those of you that were able to do that. I appreciate it. But trust me, I know like I criticize the platform heavily. You know, it is not user friendly. I ended up tagging the Rumble CEO today on X. And I was like, hey, any chance that you guys are going to get a dedicated fan funding tab on Rumble, similar to YouTube with the super chats? And no response. So there you go. But regardless, you know, when things go awry, it's good to multi-stream. I've been multi-streaming forever. and always advocate for that, because you never know, man. YouTube is completely unreliable in every way imaginable. And if we want the show to continue, there needs to be a way for it to continue. And Rumble will be that way. So it just is what it is. But again, when I'm unbanned, I stream everywhere. Well, everywhere that's relevant anyway. I don't like Twitch, so I don't stream on Twitch. And I don't like Kick either. So no offense to Kick. It's just I don't like it. Shout out to you, brother. We got Ali Kusanage for 5 memberships. Shout out to you, my guy.
Fucking go! It's a membership banger!
Thank you so much, Ali Kusanagi. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. What a fucking legend. Blue Octopussy with a 5 says, Mr. Blue is being bougie. I made Salisbury steak and pasta for dinner. He is having the Dungeness crab as well. Nice, Blue. Nice. Monkey Man for 23 months says 23 months. What would a sign say on a brothel that went out of business? Beat it. We're closed. Well, we're definitely back on YouTube now, boys. We are back on YouTube now. Anubis Hentai Hades with a 5. Conservatives send an MP to talk with JD Vance because liberals are fucking morons when dealing with Americans. Go freaking figure. Flappy elbows up. Yeah. Politics. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Mr. Melancholy with a 2 tried to set up Rumble, but my name won't work. Perhaps your name is too melancholy. Mr. Blue Cthulhu for 6 months. Here we go. He's going to try it again. He's going to try it again, but I'm not going to fall for it again. You understand? Because last time he felted me on Grivcast, you understand? He made me feel guilty for skipping his member chat accidentally, and then I fell for it. Well, guess what? I'm not falling for it this time. All right, I already know you're going to mention Still Wakes the Deep, but it's okay. Thank you, Bigot Army, for all the birthday wishes the other day. Hypno should check out this game similar to the movie Iron Still Wakes the Deep. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate that, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Blue Cthulhu. Valiant Goat throwing in the membership train with the 5 members.
Fucking go! It's a membership banger!
Shout out to Valiant Goat. I appreciate the 5 memberships, my guy. Thank you so much. You're legendary. Then we got Raptor Kratos with a 5. Yo done linging. Big boy, pick up your phone. I love that part of the intro. It's so amazing. It is so amazing. I fucking love it. Gray Soul with a 2 says, welcome back, but Bannotic. Thank you. Thank you. At this point, that should be my name. Weedy for Sweetie became a member again, all on his own job for Weedy for Sweetie. I appreciate that. And then we got Denzel. All right, bro. What the fuck? Denzel Jizz Washington with a 199 says, light up Swisher Sweet for Black History Month. You know, man, I swear to God, bro, this is crazy. Shout out to you, man. Weedy for Sweetie for 6 months says fucking nothing. Thank you so much, Weedy for Sweetie. Peaches and Cream for 15 months says welcome back. Thank you, Peaches and Cream. I appreciate that very much. Hope you've been well. King Demon Wing for 12 months of legendary status. What happened when 2 slices of bread went on a date? It was loaf at first. The pain. I literally felt like the pain in like not in my chest, but like a little below that. You know what I'm saying? Like you could just feel it. You could just feel the pain rising. You could feel the pain rising from like the cringe. Holy shit. I appreciate that. We got Res V1 with a 10 says free money. Thank you. I appreciate that. Free money's nice. I like that. Thank you. I appreciate it. Ron DFK with a 2. I'm giving away my old batteries free of charge. Oh my God, bro. What are we doing? Like what is this? What are we doing? And then he gifted a membership right after that. Thank you, Ron DFK. I appreciate that very much. Old Man Grim for 9 months. Welcome back from Exile. Hypno, love the new stream layout. Hail the Bigot Army. What's up, Old Man Grim? Thank you for 9 months. I appreciate that. Flip Shazam with a 2. It's my night to huff glue. What?
Holy shit.
It's my night to huff glue at work. So relaxing. What the fuck? That's insane, bro. Real life fake monkey with a 149 super sticker. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, man. Smash JT with a 10 says, welcome back. Fuck YouTube. Glad you kept the stakes alive. The fucking stakes, bro. The stakes, bro. The stakes. Like, so here's the problem. Right? So like Smash JT openly admits he's retarded. So I don't know if he meant to do this on purpose and do a dad joke, or if he's retarded and it said stakes instead of streaks. I don't know which way to go with this. Which way? I'm just gonna go with he's retarded. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go with he's retarded, and he put stakes instead of streaks. That's just what it is. That's what we're gonna do. Shout out to Smash for the 10. I appreciate that. And then we got Speedy Cake with 4 months. Says, I did try to listen to the X streams, but the UI was bad. X is terrible, by the way, for streaming. X is like awful. I mean, it's great. I use X for notifications. So since YouTube doesn't notify people, I use X as a means of like secondary notifications, because that's how most people realize that I'm streaming, especially if it's not on YouTube. I'll link the Rumble stream, and at least that way they know it's happening. Otherwise, they don't know it's happening, you know? Adair Soto for 3 months. Welcome back, Hypnotic. YouTube banned you faster than Yamaha versus Cyberman. What did Goku say the cheat sheet last night? I can't cheat sheet you. It's too dark. What are we doing, bro? What is with these dad jokes? Okay. Are you guys okay? Are you guys all right? Is it because it's been a week? Dr. Spike dropping a 5 membership. Mega banger. Shout out to Dr. Spike.
Let's fucking go! It's a membership banger!
Everybody spam the Dr. Spike fucking emojis in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to Dr. Spike. Glad to see you. Hope everything has been good with you, my man. We got real life fake monkey with a 5. When does a joke turn into a dad joke? When it becomes apparent. I've heard this 20 times. 20. 2-0. Minimum. Jesus Christ. Adair Soto with a 20 months. I love my steak. Well done. All right, you need to get banned for that. Adair Soto needs to get banned on that, like straight up. Adair Soto, like anybody who eats steak well done that doesn't do it for health reasons, like, you know, like some sort of like stomach problem or something, immediate ban. 100%. At least for like 10 minutes at the bare minimum. Because that's insane. Who the fuck eats? What do you like? Wood? Do you like wood? Is that the problem? All right, let me stop being judgmental. Let me stop being judgmental. Let me stop. Love you, dear Soto. Thank you for the 20 months, man. Raptor Kratos with it too. Where are the white women at? I don't know, bro. I don't know. Protesting or something? Who knows? Rodoko with the 1 membership. Thank you, Rodoko. I appreciate that, my guy. We like, because we were banned for a week. We got so far behind on our membership goals. So I appreciate that, man. Every bit helps. Thank you, Rodoko. Lord Bowser with 5 months says, welcome back. Can't chat right now. For some reason, I was unsubscribed. That's weird. But you know what? That's what's going to fix this. Because I noticed that was happening. So I feel like it's a nice reminder to make sure people remember to check if they're subscribed, because people forget. Real life fake monkey with a 5. When does a joke turn into dad joke? When it becomes... Now it's 21. Wow. Thank you, sir. Sonia with a 5. When does a joke... Oh, so this is like this is just funny, right? Is that what it is? Is this funny? It's just funny. Is that what this is? 22. Thanks. Thank you. Before you know it, we'll have more than that than our tier streaks. Adair Soto with a 5. To answer that question, yes, I love wood. The rubber taste of it is ew.
Holy shit.
It's disgusting. Flip Shazam with a 2. The Smash AT School for special needs and slow readers. That sounds better than the Leering School. Rez with a 5 says never write with a broken pencil because it's pointless. This is gonna go all night, isn't it? It's like all night. Real life fake monkey for when it's a joke, turn it. I'm getting felted by like $2 and $5 supers. They're not even red boys. I'm getting felted by literal 5 and 2s. This is fucking crazy. But I appreciate it regardless, man. Mr. Blue Cthulhu, and no, don't bring this back. What key can't open a door? Turkey. Stop. Thank you for the 2. Chaotic Holy. You guys are making up for the entire week in one day. What the fuck's going on here? Chaotic Holy with the 5. When does a joke become a dad joke? Unbelievable. Paul Q. Look at this absolute fucking legend, man. Paul Q dropping a massive 10 membership mega back.
Let's fucking go! It's a membership banger!
Shout out to Paul Q. How you doing, man? Hope you've been well. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. We're working hard to catch up our memberships for the week we were gone. I appreciate that, my man. We got Trey with a 2. What kind of key can unlock a turkey? Yes, I know. Immigrant Beaver with a 2. How do you get a good night's sleep? Zequel the wife. That's insane. Twisted Master with a 2. What is a dad joke? Adair Soto with a 2. And sometimes I overcook it. That's the best. Oh, God, that's nasty. Sir Lloyd's with a 189. Really? This is like a kindergarten joke. Why was 10 afraid? It was in the middle of 9/11. Oh, that's dark. I just realized that.
Holy shit.
That's dark. That's dark. Holy shit. I just realized that. Wow, nice. Okay, that was nice. Hex and Hammer with a 5. What happens when a parent joke is told 1,000 times? It becomes a grandparent. Thanks. Zelosi, 21 months. What do you call someone with no body and no nose? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Wow. Thank you, Zelosi. 21 months. Hey, somebody loves me on Rumble, man. 16-bit dude, right after Torinol's $100 Red Boy Hyper Banger, dropped a $100 Red Boy Hyper Banger on the stream. What
Here we go! Mucha lucha! It's the way of life! Mucha lucha!
Shout out to 16-bit dude. He says, after what YouTube pulled, I'll be dropping the Red Boys on here from now on. Oh, man, that's based. That is based. And then he says, Latinas, por favor. You got it, my man. Latinas it is. Summon the lady.
Okay, everyone, we got another Red Boy Hyper Banger. Let's bring the ladies in.
Shout out to 16-bit dude. Holding it down, my guy, over on Rumble like a fucking boss. I appreciate that, my man. $100 Red Boy is crazy. That's the second Red Boy of the stream. My God, you guys are going insane today. It's been only a week. Nah, but I missed you guys, man. I really did. And it's sad because I knew like most of you had no idea what was happening. And I tried my best to get the word out there, but of course, I'm very limited in what I can do. But shout out to you, man. Thank you, 16-bit dude. Deadeye's Lock with $1. Helena Troy took a wrong turn in the dark. Now she's Chains of Helen. That's pretty funny. Shout out to Deadeye's Lock. Thank you, bro. Yo, Dr. Spike out of nowhere, pulling a silent protagonist with a $100 Red Boy Hyper.
Here we go! Mucha lucha! It's the way of life! Mucha lucha!
Shout out to Dr. Spike. Oh my goodness gracious. What is going on today, ladies and gentlemen? He didn't say what clip he wanted, but make sure you guys spam the chat. He always says my choice. So we need epic this. We need epic this right now, man. Epic this is what we need. We're gonna make it happen. Let's go.
All right, boys, we have another Red Boy Hyper Banger. Let's bring the ladies in.
Shout out to Dr. Spike. Apparently, I missed his chat. The chat's flying today, Dr. Spike. I'm sorry. That's why I have slow mode on. But apparently, it wasn't enough. What was the clip you wanted? I'll correct it. I don't mind correcting it, Dr. Spike, man. You dropped $100 Red Boy. It's the least I could do. Guys, make sure you spam the Dr. Spike emojis in the chat. This guy's a legend. He hasn't been here in a while. He's been very busy, man. Shout out to that dude. I appreciate it very much. Everything you do for the channel. Greatly appreciate you, my guy. Thank you for that. I'll correct it if you want to tell me another clip. It was for Old Man Cad. Oh, what does he want? Fucking Asians? Old Man Cad tries to avoid dropping Red Boys, and he's always like trying to get other people to play Asians. What is it? You want Asians? You want Asians? Is that what? All right, fuck it. It's fine.
Oh my god, it's a Red Boy Hyper Banger.
Shout out to Old Man Cad. There you go. You got a second clip because I made a mistake, so I corrected the mistake, my man. I appreciate you. Thank you, Dr. Spike, again for the $100 Red Boy Hyperbanger, man. We missed you. Hope you've been good. Hope you're taking care of yourself. Blue Octopus. All right, we're going to go over a couple more because, guys, we got to get to the content, boys. We are like, it's Party City today, which is not a bad thing. Don't get me wrong. It's not a bad thing, but we got to get to the content. Blue Octopus is screaming at the top of her lungs. Says, when's a joke a dad joke? Oh, my God. Here we go again. Thank you, Blue. Rez with a 5 says, what does a doe say to a baker? You need me. Oh my God. Where are you guys getting these from? Dragon Reborn for 10 months, meant to be asleep. Got work in the morning, but want to say, when does a joke become it? You son of a bitch. Welcome back, brother. Hail to the bigot. Oh, God damn it. Did we hit tier 2 already? Oh, people are spamming uwu. Okay, give me a second. Thank you, Dragon Reborn. 10 months is crazy. Sanguine for 20 months. Did you know jokes grow old long after they become a grandparent? That's a great grandparent. God damn it. Ali Kusanagi with a 2. Have you decided to mod Final Fantasy 7 yet? I will. Real life fake monkey with a 5. What does a joke turn into? God damn it. Speedy Cake with a 10 said, did you hear about the poker player who was hard during a tournament? He had a straight but couldn't show it. Seriously? Speedy Cake? Adair Soto with a 5. I like my steak so well done. That's a good cobbler can turn into a shoe sole. That is nasty, bro. What are we doing? What? Little Hypnotic with a 10. Hey, Dad, I missed you and you got scared when you disappeared for a week. Uncle T-Jab scared me and said, Ice got you, but later you were released. Miss Sonia's the best. Seriously? Ice? Really? I'm legal. Zevin Cross with a 5. I spilled spot remover on my dog and now he's gone. Where are you getting these from? Flip Shazam with a 2. I forgot what I was going to say. Glue. Your brain is fried. Rez with a 2. Why doesn't the bicycle stand up? It's too tired. Marius with a 5. What do you call a lion wearing a stylish hat? A dandelion. Immigrant Beaver with a 5. What do beavers love when Hypnotic doesn't disappear to YouTube jail and not inform the animals? I couldn't inform the animals. And then Immigrant Beaver with a 2. Wait, if Hypno was in YouTube jail, who spooned who? I don't know. We kind of lose track. We lose track of time. Who knows? And then Jake with a 5. I'm reading a book about anti-gravity. It was hard to put down. Jesus Christ. What are we doing? What are we doing? All right. Let me go over to Rumble really quick. 2 more we got. Torino with a 5. What's the first thing you lose as you grow older? I forgot. And then Dr. Spike with another $100 Red Boy Hyper Banger over on Rumble.
Here we go! Mucha lucha, mucha lucha. It's the way of life. Mucha lucha.
And he said, fuck YouTube, a Rumble Red Boy. Bro, the Red Boys are being dropped like crazy on Rumble right now. Talk about like, that's incredible. That's incredible, man. Holy shit. In the meantime, I'm going to play a clip and I'm going to put the ears on. Do you want a specific clip this time before I move forward? Let me know. I'm looking at the chat right now. You know what? Let me put the ears on first. Shout out to every single one of you, man. What a legendary return stream this is so far. And we're just getting started. That's the insane thing. We're literally just getting started. I saw a comment in the chat that was so funny. Hold on, where is it? Okay, my son's properly done cringe by now. You may proceed to the content. Well, what does he think about this? Is this cringy enough for your son now? Shout out to Octorate. I appreciate that. That's pretty funny. Dr. Spike said it's my choice. All right, one more clip, and then we're getting into the content, boys. One more clip. Let's do, he said it's my choice, so let's do, you know what? This one is Dr. Spike's favorite. This is Dr. Spike's favorite. He drops donos nonstop to see this clip. We all know it's true. This is for Dr. Spike.
All right, boys, we got another Red Boy Hyper Banger. Let's bring the ladies in.
Shout out to Dr. Spike for the Red Boy Hyperbanger over on Rumble. I lost track of how many that is already. I lost track, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, bro. Holy shit. You guys are truly, truly amazing. Immigrant Beaver with a 2 says, if you lost track of time, were you at 6 or 9? Get it? This fucking guy, bro. This fucking guy. I swear to God. And oh my God, bro, what is happening, bro? Look, we got Rez. Rez is throwing in $100 Red Boy Hyperbanger. He says, all right, let me contribute one more Red Boy. What the?
Here we go! Mucha lucha! Mucha lucha! It's the way of life! Mucha lucha!
Guys, this is insanity. This is insanity, man. Holy shit. Talk about a return stream. God damn, man. Thank you so much, Rez, man. Holy shit. I don't know how to say thank you. Like, do if you have a clip you want, let me know. If you don't know what the clips are, I'm sure the mods will tell you. We have a lot. We have a lot of clips. You want some clankers? I could play some clankers. Could definitely play some clankers. Let's get the red boy emoji. Let's get the red boy emoji spam in the chat right now. Red boy emoji spam. Paul Q. Paul Q, join
Here we go! Mucha lucha! Mucha lucha! It's the way of life! Mucha lucha!
He said, welcome back, bro. Shout out to Paul Q. Dude, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Red boy spam for Paul Q and for Rez as well. Thank you guys so much. You need to tell me what clips you want. Otherwise, I'm just going to play whatever. God damn, man. You guys are insane. Seriously, thank you. Adair Soto with a 269, more like 67. Thank you, sir. James Opp with 22 months says, fuck YouTube. Thank you, James Opp. I appreciate that, brother. All right, Paul Q. I saw Paul Q's chat first. Red says, I don't have any Red Boy. You don't have any requests. Okay. So Paul wanted Gingers, so we'll play Gingers for him, and we'll play Clankers for you.
It's a Red Boy Hyper Banger, bitches! Let's bring the ladies in!
Shout out to Rez. And shout out to the legend, fucking Paul. Thank you so much, guys. You guys are sincerely amazing. I really have no words. I have no words. No words. Sincerely. Like, no fucking words. I don't know what to say. And this guy, bro, I swear to God. I swear. He is like chaos incarnate. Literally like the Joker. Like, oh my God, man. Trey dropping $100 red. I've lost track. It's It's 4 out of 5 on YouTube, but I know it's way more than that because of the Legends Zone.
Here we go! Mucha lucha, mucha lucha. It's the way of life. Mucha lucha.
That is just insane. Holy shit. He says, fuck your rules. Mikasa, Asians. When does a joke become a dad? When it becomes a parent. I swear to God. I swear to God. Oh my God. I swear to God. This fucking joke. I swear. Oh my God, bro. You guys are making our haters leave. You understand? We went from 450 people watching to 430. 20 of our haters left because they're sick of seeing this. You understand? They're like, stop it. The Red Boys are not fun. They're not fun. I mean, just to be clear, they're fun for me. But I'm just saying. Anyway, I don't give a fuck. It's fine. Okay, so here's oh my God, bro. Look at this shit, man. Look at this shit. Zevin Cross with $100 fucking Red Boy. What is that?
Here we go! Mucha lucha, mucha lucha. It's the way of life. Mucha lucha.
What the fuck is happening? He says, shush and enjoy the red hyperbangers. Goth Asians, please. Oh my God. Oh my God, bro. All right, here's the deal. I'm playing 2 more clips and then we're gonna get into the content. We have to get into the content. It seems like Asians are highly requested tonight. And by the way, we hit the 5 out of 5 goal on YouTube, which is fucking astronomically ridiculous. So shout out to you guys. We hit that last super chat got us the 5 out of 5 goal, which is crazy. Confetti in the chat. Celebrations in the chat, boys. Let's get some Asians. You know what? We're going to start reverse because we played the other Asian clip already. We're going to start with Zevin Cross with the Goth Asians. Actually, it doesn't matter because it's the only clip we have. It's the same clip for 2 people. Unless they want to change it. Does either Trey or Zevin want to change their request? Otherwise, we're just going to have to play two Goth Asians. All right, we'll start with Trey. Let's do Asians. Make up your mind.
Oh my God, it's a Red Boy hyperbanger.
Hyperbanger.
We fucking love Red Boy hyperbangers. Thank you, Bigot Army.
There's something legendary about that clip. That's the first clip we ever made. I don't know what's so special about it. It's got to be the music. It's got to be the music. Shout out to Trey and shout out to Zevin Cross with the two $100 Red Boy Hyper Bangers, man. You guys are legendary. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you to the entire chat. Sincerely, I don't know how to keep saying thank you, but sincerely, thank you. Immigrant Beaver with a 2 says, this is Hypno YouTube. Can't stop this even with the key. Of course. Of course. Thank you, Immigrant Beaver. Flip Shazam says, have you not gotten to the topics? I've been talking to my boss on the phone for 10 minutes and trying to figure it out what it is exactly I exactly do here. No, I have not, but we're about to. We are about to. Format for $1 and Rumble says, when does a joke turn into a dad joke? Take a wild fucking guess. I like that one. And Teacher Conic with a membership. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, we are all caught up. Thank you, guys. All other super chats I will get to after the fact. I'm not being rude. We just have to get to the topics. But I will do gifted. I will do gifted games because we did get gifted games. I want to go through them really quick. God damn it. Why does it do that? I will get to all the super chats. Trust me. Old Man Cass says, no, you aren't. Yes, I will. I will. I always do. I make sure we do all of them. Okay. I don't know about other YouTubers, but I make absolutely fucking sure I try to hit every single one. God damn it. All right. We got gifted games, man. Dragon Reborn. Hope all is well, good brother. I've managed to find you on Rumble and trying to catch with the streams. My Rumble's Primus81, just to let you know. Oh, that's awesome. Shout out to Dragon Reborn. I mean, we are back on YouTube. Obviously, you can see that. But yeah, of course. Make sure you have Rumble enabled so that if this ever happens again, obviously you have a means to watch the show. Divinity Dragon Commander. Thank you, bro. Holy shit, man. You gifted the others as well. I appreciate that. That is insane. Of course, I can't accept it. All right. I'll accept it behind the scenes. You already know how it goes. I've got no dad jokes or smart-ass remarks to put here, so shrug. Archive 1985. This game looked really good. We actually reacted to this. We reacted to this the other day on, what do you call it? On our showcase. Archive 1985 looked really good. Thank you, Dragon Reborn. I appreciate that. Fast food simulator. Bro, so I play one simulator game. I play Power Washing Simulator, and suddenly everybody's gifting me simulator games. Like, come on, bro. There's got to be a limit. He says, so no Hypno Cafe, maybe Hypno Fast Food Takeaway, serving all your favorite ghetto foods, and served by big booty Latinas. Plus, this was on your wish list. It was. I'm not going to lie to you. It was. But I appreciate you regardless. Thank you. Thank you for Fast Food Simulator. Black Tailgate says Fast Food Simulator is awesome. I would not be surprised. The Puerto Rican food might not be for you, so probably fried chicken, cornbread with gravy and watermelon. What do you think? I'm black? Or tacos, fajitas, or refried? That's better. I'm not really a taco person, but you know the refried beans. We'll go with that, bro. Just give me some fucking rice and beans with some chicken with some nice sazon on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, just keep it simple. Keep it simple, bro. I don't like to do all this extra shit. Keep it simple. And they gifted She's Leaving, which I think we also reacted to. I'm pretty sure. It's a first-person survival horror thriller. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Helping with decreasing your wish list, but increasing your game library. Thank you, Dragon Reborn. Cold to the Lamb, Woolhaven. This game actually looked really interesting. This is another one that we also reacted to, I believe, on our indie showcase. So that's pretty exciting. Thank you for that, Dragon Reborn. I appreciate that. I'm going to accept all these in the back.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
Holy shit. Holy shit, boys. Wow. I'm like stunned right now, bro. Holy shit. Dragon Reborn gifted Neo 3. Holy shit. He says, hey, brother, I'm really sorry. I did try and message you back, but my message would not go through no matter how much I edited and still would not go through. Really? That's weird. On Steam? That's really weird. I would have to see why that is. Holy shit, man. We actually have a poll on Hypnotic Gaming Live right now to decide whether or not we're going to be playing Neo 3 or Code Vein 2 for the next Griffcast. So make sure you guys go vote on that, because now I officially have both. I have Code Vein 2 and now I have Neo 3, apparently. Dude, thank you so much, man. That's insane. You really did not have to do that, bro. Oh my God. That's crazy. Oh my God. All right. What? Who? Great Ape? What the fuck is this? What is this? Great Ape? He says, fuck the rules and tough it up, butter. What is this? What is this? I told you I'm only playing the first one. Oh my God. We haven't even bet on any of these yet. Oh my God, bro. Talk about a roller coaster. I was all the way on the top of the planet with Neo 3. And then fucking Life is Strange Double Exposure Ultra Gay Edition just brought me all the way back down to the fucking earth. God damn it, bro. Oh my God, dude. This is insanity. This is insanity, dude. Thank you. I'm appreciative. Thank you. That's insane, bro. Thank you. If we ever do bet to play this game, then I guess this will be one of them that's available. So thank you for that. Oh, come on, bro. Like, there's no fucking way, man.
Holy shit.
Come on, bro. Come on, bro. There's no way right now what's happening. There's no way. There is no way, bro. Life is Strange 2, the complete season. Every episode. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in Arcadia Bay patches. God damn. That's cruel. That's an understatement, bro. Come on. What is this? Life is Strange is gay, but this installment actually gave people cancer. So you want to give me cancer? Oh my God, dude. This is insane. This is legitimately insane. I cannot believe this is happening right now. You guys are insane. You guys are insane. Is there any others before? No. Okay. All right. That's the last one. I will accept all of them right now in the back screen. Let me do that. Jesus Christ, bro. Let me do that. Thank you, Great Ape, and thank you, Dragon Reborn, for the gifts. I appreciate you. And yeah, there is a poll on Hypnotic Gaming Live. If you want to go vote on that, I would appreciate it, because it is between Neo 3 and Code Vein. So make sure you go vote, bitches. All right. Wow. What a pre-stream legends. We are going to catch up on all the other super chats after the fact. I saw the red boy from Dr. Spike, another one, bro. Like, he dropped my guy dropped another fucking red boy on Rumble. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I will get to it. I promise I'll get to it right away. I just wanna go into some topics, and then we will get to them again. So thank you. I see it. I see all your supers, everybody. Masters Whip, Dark Obsidian, Randall the Vandal, Flip Shazam. I see all you guys. And obviously Dr. Spike. Thank you. We're gonna get to the topics really quick. So let's cover some of them. All right. So the obvious one. Let's do the obvious one. Get it out the fucking way. Where's my Twitter? Here. So yep, I was banned on YouTube. That's why you didn't see me for a week. While I have all of you here, while I have pretty big audience right now here, what I will say, and I need you guys to really try to remember this, okay? And I say this every single time this happens, and people just forget. And I understand. I forget shit too. I get it. But I need you guys to remember something. Okay? I'm pretty dedicated. Like, I'm pretty dedicated to the channel, pretty dedicated to YouTube, pretty dedicated to the viewers, and I like to make sure that the content's out there. Obviously, not just from my own benefit. That obviously is a part of it, because this is what I do all the time. But it is also a thing of, like, I really enjoy it. I'm very, very dedicated. I am unbelievably dedicated. Okay? And if there's one thing I will ever say about myself, is that nobody will ever match how much I put into YouTube. Nobody. I'll challenge anybody on that shit. Okay? Not to talk shit on anybody, because people work hard. There's a lot of people that work hard out there. have a lot of channels and all that stuff. But I am unbelievably fucking headstrong, dedicated. Okay. So what I mean by that is that if at any point I disappear for more than a day, right? Because sometimes I take days off or whatever. Very rarely, but sometimes I take days off. If I ever disappear for more than a day, please try to remember that I am either dead or banned. Okay? I'm either dead or banned. That's it. If I take off for more than a day, I am either dead or I am banned. Okay? If I'm not streaming on Rumble, that means I'm dead. All right? That's what it is. And we just got to RIP and move on. But otherwise, I'm either dead or banned. Okay? Because anytime I take off for longer than a day, that means that something happened, obviously, on YouTube. That means that YouTube banned me, whether it's, for a day or for 7 days or something along those lines. I'm most likely banned. That's like 99% the situation. Okay. So this was a whole situation. Again, we're not going to stay on this too long because there really isn't that much to stay on because it's so stupid. It really is YouTube's fault. And I know a lot of YouTubers say this, but it is genuinely YouTube's fault. Like their AI is out of control. And then they don't want to admit that their AI is out of control. So they double down on it. They double down and triple down because that's just how they are. Okay. And then they try to lie to you. They lie to your face and they're like, yeah, we had a human look at this. No, you fucking didn't. No, you didn't. Because if you had a human look at this, you would know that this is absolutely not hate speech in any sense of the word. So basically, I got banned for hate speech. Okay. And I swear to God, every time I get banned, it's because of SNH. It almost never is anything else. Almost all of my bans that I've had on YouTube over the years that I've been doing YouTube has been because of SNH, because of something that happens on SNH or whatever the case may be, because we talk pretty freely over there. And the AI, especially now more than ever, doesn't like it. You know what I mean? Doesn't like it. So they ended up banning me for hate speech. Okay. Now I can't play the clip for obvious reasons, but I will just explain to you what it is. So we were they had a problem with this part on SNH where apparently we were talking about Fable. We were talking about Fable, right? And we were going over this entire situation where quite frankly, it was just honestly ridiculous, right? It was just ridiculous. This whole thing is so stupid. All we were doing was talking about the game, and Cassie essentially had this entire how do I say it? This entire tirade about like what she likes to do in video games and how she likes when games are more open-ended, so she can like fuck with the NPCs and like just be a bad character overall sometimes and blow people up, whatever. And they took it as hate speech. They took us talking about Fable and us talking about what we like to do in RPGs as hate speech, and the AI flagged it for whatever reason. And yeah, apparently talking about what you like to do in video games is considered hate speech, according to YouTube. Now, I reached out to YouTube multiple times, and I told them, this is not fucking hate speech. I have the clip right here. I gave you a minute before and a minute after the timestamp of what you said you had a problem with, and there's no hate speech here. Can you please have a human review it? That'll be great. So I reached out to Team YouTube on Twitter. We were messaging each other, and then I reached out to creator support on email, and we reached out to each other, and both of them said that they had a human re-review it and that it is going to stay. Like the decision is going to stay. So basically, at this point, I'm going to take that as like YouTube's flat out lying to protect themselves and obviously their AI. And they consider talking about video games in that manner to be hate speech, apparently. That's what it is. And it's so insulting because they'll pretend like they're human, but we all know that 99% of the interaction that you have with Team YouTube is not human. It's all AI. It was something not even said by you. Well, that's the thing. 99% of the time, it's not something said by me. That's what I'm saying. Like it is almost always SNH as to the reason why my channel gets struck in some way, shape, or form. Almost always. You know, even like even in the original post, let me see if I can find the original post. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Even in the original post, YouTube tried to like insultingly say, "Hey, yeah, human here." No human talks like that. Anyway, let me show you. let me show you this post. This is great. Look at this. So on the original post, if you look here on the original post, right? Or I tell them, their AI is out of control and all that nonsense and stuff like that. Team YouTube responds, and this is so insulting, bro. I swear to God, it is, because this is like, bro, who are you fooling? Who do you really think you're fooling with this, right? Team YouTube responds, "Hey there, human here." Bro, what? There is not a single human on the planet that responds like that. There's no human that says, "Hey, human here." Bro, you ain't no fucking human. I even said it. I was like, I responded to your DM, although I've seen these responses before, and I already know you are most likely not human. It's like, there's no human on the planet that responds like that. Like, who are you trying to fool with this? So the entire conversation with Team YouTube in messages, up until I believe the very end, seemed very automated and obviously bot focused. But yeah, they ended up doubling down. They ended up upholding their decision, and they ended up saying that it is absolutely hate speech to talk about Fable and what you like to do in video games, in free open RPGs where you could play a bad guy or you could play a good guy or whatever. Leon was also talking in that segment, and he was talking about something along the lines of like objective morality. And people are trying to say that objective morality could be considered hate speech because according to the people who run YouTube, they don't view things that way or whatever. I don't think it was that. I think it was the Cassie segment, I'm pretty sure. It's just like, again, we have a video game on screen. We're talking about the video game on screen. How the fuck are you considering this to be hate speech? Which specifically says it's speech that targets marginalized communities or whatever the case would be. Like, literally none of that stuff was happening, and yet they still upheld it anyway. And they're keeping that going. So I was like, oh, okay, I guess. Whatever, have fun with that. So that's what happened. That's the reason why we got banned, but it's okay. It is what it is. We were still very successful on Rumble. They tried to keep the channel down. Obviously that didn't work, and now we're back on YouTube, better than ever. And if they try to ban me again, I'll just be on Rumble again. And now I'm spreading the message out there, and I'm going to end this segment with this. If you are subscribed to me on YouTube, I highly implore that you check out my Rumble channel. If the mods can put my Rumble channel in the chat, I would greatly appreciate it. Make sure you guys go check out the Rumble channel and subscribe. Even if you're not going to use it right now, at least you will get notifications. If and when anything were to happen again, you would at least be able to see that I'm streaming every day, and we can hang out and talk about video games and do what we do every single day without interruption, which is exactly what we did for the last 7 days. We had a lot of people. Like, my streams by the end of the 2 hours were gaining anywhere between 3,500 to 5,000 views. And that's about what they average on YouTube. And most of the views that would come in after the fact, because a lot of people didn't even realize I was live. So we had decent numbers when we were live, but they got even better after the fact. So it definitely is important. And I've always multi-streamed. I've always had that avenue for people. They want to explore that. And it is there if you want to explore it, whether it's now or later or whatever, it doesn't matter. It's there. And if you are a creator out there, I think it's very important for you to multi-stream. I'm not saying for you to multi-stream everywhere. If you want to do that, that's fine. I don't do that. I don't like Twitch. I don't like Kick, but I'll use Rumble. And that's it. Was the previous ban Ubisoft or hit job by some Uranus? I forget. I think it was twice last year. One was a copyright strike by Ubisoft. That's what it was. One was a copyright strike by Ubisoft for discussing one of their video games. They got leaked, and I was covering an article talking about the leak, and they did not like that, apparently. So they only struck the videos that seemed to be negatively talking about the leak, and all the positive ones somehow were able to stay up. But, that's how it goes. That's how it goes, right? It's never a fair treatment. Never expected to be fair. But yeah, so make sure you guys subscribe to the Rumble. And just keep it as a backup if you're not going to use it right now. If you want to use it right now, you're more than welcome to. There's plenty of people hanging out over there. They're dropping Red Boy hyper bangers fucking nonstop over there, it seems. So I appreciate them over there, and that's just what it is. That's what it is. So, but hey, we're back, and we're going to have a good time, and we're going to hang out and do our thing, and that's what we're going to do. As much as people don't like that and want to stop that, you guys got to remember that for every like one hater, there is probably 500 to 1,000 supportive people. You know, the numbers are heavily in the positive favor by 98% plus, at least according to my like ratio. 98% plus, sometimes 99%. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And always remember to check out Rumble if for whatever reason I'm gone for longer than a day. And if I am gone for longer than a day on YouTube and I'm not actually banned, I will inform you. Maybe I'm on the road, maybe I'm on vacation, whatever the case would be, but I will let you know why I am not live for longer than a day. If I don't, it's because I can't. Because remember, once you're banned for either a couple of days or a week, you cannot post a community post, you cannot upload videos, you cannot stream, you cannot do anything, and that goes for all your channels. That goes for all your channels. I think they're a little more lenient on community posts with other channels, but they don't let you upload videos and they don't let you upload live streams, obviously, or shorts or anything like that. So all your channels I can't post anywhere. So it's better for you to at least try to remember or at least be subscribed to Rumble now as a backup versus me not being, because once it happens, I can't communicate. You know? Old Man Cad says that we have 482 watching and 369 likes, like the stream. I mean, we do have a lot of hate watching. Hate watching is bad for your health. Yeah, I know, right? So, in any case, that was a situation. And again, this out of all the bans I've ever had, I think this is probably the most stupid one I've ever had. I really do. I think that this is probably the most stupid ban that I've ever had, where I legitimately just looked at it like, there's no fucking way this is real. There's no way this is real, bro. Like, my mind is fucking blown. There's no way this is real. There's no way you're being serious right now. But no, they were 100% serious. They 100% said that talking about video games, essentially, especially Fable, apparently, is hate speech. So for all you guys who are content creators, just be very careful when you're talking about Fable and make sure you don't like describing what you like to do in video games, because apparently that's hate speech. Because AI is retarded on YouTube, unfortunately. And keep in mind, this is not shocking information, considering that YouTube bans almost 20 million accounts a year. A year, by the way. They ban 20 million accounts a year. And the only way that's possible is with AI. It's the only way that's possible. They're not manually banning 20 million accounts a year. You know? So it is what it is. In any case, that's the story on the ban. For the hate watchers, they were in here curious about that. Now you got what you wanted, so have fun with the rest of your evening. Imagine if I start playing Command and Conquer Generals or GLA Faction. Bro, they're not going to like what they hear for sure. For sure. Jay Viber says, I've been banned 20 million times. Yeah. Yeah, it is what it is. It's kind of part of like it's part of the territory. Anybody who does YouTube in any serious way 100% knows, like, this is what we deal with. You know? This is what we deal with all the time, bro. Like, it's not, again, I know that the Rumble crowd showed up and they held us down. And I know if YouTube were to ever go away, Rumble would be a legitimate option. You know, I know that I can always take Rumble an extra step further and try to get some sort of deal with them or contract with them or something along those lines if I really wanted to go that crazy. But to be honest with you, like, the Bigot Army got me, man. And I know that. I know, like, you guys hang out with me and you do your thing, and I appreciate it. And I know I never really probably am going to have to go down that route. But even if I did, at the end of the day, I know you guys would fucking hang out. So, hey, if YouTube doesn't want the support, then YouTube doesn't want the support. It is what it is. The Olympics are trying to strike you right now. Oh, shit, really? Yo, the Olympics is terrible to cover. They will try to strike you for anything. Like, literally everything. All right, let's get into some more topics really quick. We'll cover some fast topics, and then we're gonna get into more supers, because we had a couple of more supers that I want to go over. Obviously, like Dr. Spike's Red Boy and everything like that. So shout out to you guys for sticking it out with me. I appreciate you. I'm banned in Russia for some reason. Damn, slay every game. All right, so first topic really quick. Let's talk about the Steam Machine. The Steam Machine apparently is being reassessed according to Insider Gaming. And it's not just them. There's a lot of people out there that are reporting on this. But the Steam Machine apparently is at least reassessing its pricing due to the memory and storage shortages. Now, this is something that we knew was going to happen for a while. We knew that this was going to be a situation considering how all these companies were pulling out of your consumer markets and they were going to strictly AI. There's a lot of fluctuation that's happening right now because of the whole AI situation. Look at that. 20 people just left right now because I finished talking about my band. Bye. So Valve reassessing the Steam Machine pricing due to memory shortage and storage shortages. Now, Valve has finally provided an update on the release of its Steam Machine and additional hardware. And they're once again giving us that update. In a blog post on Wednesday, February 4th, Valve revealed that industry-wide memory and storage shortages and rising memory prices have forced it to revisit its shipping schedule and pricing. So it's overall just being delayed, particularly for the Steam Machine and the Steam Frame VR headset. So the two main machines, basically, the Steam Frame VR and the Steam Machine, are being delayed. Not so much the controller, but the hardware, the actual main hardware, is going to be delayed simply because of all these problems that are happening right now in the market. They still plan to ship all three products in the first half of the year. Well, that's good. But they're currently working to finalize pricing and a specific launch date. They promise to keep customers updated as best as they can. They said our goal of shipping all three products in the first half of the year has not changed, but we have work to do to land on concrete pricing and launch dates that we can confidently announce, they say. So at this point, anybody that was questioning whether or not there might be an increase on the machines, I think this pretty much answers that question. Maybe not with 100% certainty, but I think enough for us to understand that they're obviously trying to play it, not play it safe, but play it smart. I think they're trying to play it smart, realistically. So we'll see what ends up happening with the Steam Machine and the headset. But as of right now, we're kind of like in limbo until they tell us exactly what's going to happen. Which, if they're planning to release it in the first half of the year, then I gotta imagine they're probably going to give themselves a couple of months leeway. So even if they wanted to release it in, let's say, the beginning of summer or something like that, we should be finding out within like March or April what exactly is going on here, like what the pricing is, what the overall situation is. I think we'll find out. Maybe they'll only release the base model. I don't know if they plan to have other models, but maybe they'll only release like a supposed standard model at first, and then they will kind of go from there. But that's the plans right now, and that's the conversation. So we'll follow up with that when we get more information. We also got another fast story of Black Myth Wukong, guys. Black Myth Wukong apparently is slated to be released on the Nintendo Switch 2, which I am not exactly 100% sure how I feel about this from a performance perspective, because kind of like with Elden Ring got delayed because the game is just not running well on the Switch 2. Borderlands 4 also got delayed because it's not running well on the Switch 2. So I'm a little bit concerned about Black Myth Wukong, considering how impressive that game was visually. I don't know how this is going to run. And also, you don't exactly want to be lagging when you're playing a Souls-like or action-adventure style video game like Black Myth Wukong, where the combat is super fast and every little bit of speed matters. I don't think you really want to be playing with your FPS at that point. But apparently, it is slated to be coming out on the Nintendo Switch 2. And if it does, I mean, that's great for them. That's great for Switch 2. Like I said, I'm happy for the Switch 2 players that they're getting so much third-party video games. But I just have to question, like, how good do these games actually run? You know, like, how good do they actually run on this platform? Are we just willing to accept, like, the bare minimum because maybe that's the only platform they have? I don't know. And that's fine if it is, but it's just like what are we doing? You know, like, is this game seriously going to run well? I don't know. Compromises will be made. I agree. I think compromises absolutely will be made. There's no doubt about it. So we'll see. Game key cards are stupid. Yeah, I mean, that's their choice. At what price though? Oh, it's gonna be whatever their full price is. What did Black Myth Wukong release at? $50? $50, right? Yeah, I think it's gonna be whatever their price is. They're not gonna go higher than their MSRP. At least I don't think so. That would be insane. Can you imagine if they went to like $60, $70 on the Switch 2 version? And it's the worst version out of every other version available? Crazy. But we'll keep an eye on that and see if that actually ends up being true. As of right now, we don't know if that's true or not. No Rest for the Wicked hit a milestone. I wanted to share this with you because it's great news. No Rest for the Wicked hit a new sales milestone of over 1.5 million copies sold, which is absolutely crazy. I think this is wild. It's also, honestly, it's one of those situations where Thomas Mahler gets a lot of shit. And honestly, some of it he brings on himself, which is fine, whatever. But he gets a lot of shit. And he had a back and forth with Mike Ybarra, who was obviously on Blizzard and Diablo and whatnot. And Mike Ybarra ended up trying to like big daddy him a little bit and was like, well, I don't have to work anymore and you do. And then basically trying to like, I don't know, felt Thomas Waller or something like that. And he was saying like how Thomas Waller had to beg people to play his game. Well, it looks like he ain't begging people anymore. He is not begging people anymore. It's because ever since this co-op patch, he has been doing exceptionally well. Where now it's over 1.5 million copies sold, which is fantastic. Apparently, the game is actually going to have a price increase upon release of the game. They're going to be making it a $60 game when the game officially releases in 1.0. But the game is a lot cheaper now while it's in early access. But regardless, I'm actually really excited for this game. I can't wait to play this game. I've been watching this game for a long time and seeing how the game develops over time. The co-op recent patch is awesome. And usually I don't play early access video games, but I was talking with Atreus and Kata, and I think what we're going to end up doing is we're going to end up playing No Rest for the Wicked co-op for an SNH Plays night. So we'll get together with one other person and we'll do 4-player co-op and see how the game is, because I think this game, when it releases, is going to be a big hit. I really do. I think this game, they have put in the work. They put everything into this game. They gave it their all, and I think it's going to pay off for them. I really do. It's been paying off for them already. I mean, if you look at the numbers, if we go to SteamDB, look at the numbers really quick for No Rest for the Wicked, it's been trending up and up and up and up and up. It's amazing. 10 days ago, it hit an all-time peak. Here, I'll show you. It hit an all-time peak 10 days ago of 62,997. It's got a 24-hour peak of 34,239. It's, as a paid title, it is doing better than High Guard, the free-to-play title. Think about that. Now, obviously, there are two different genres, but still, I think that's pretty amazing, to be honest with you. What is High Guard at right now? Oh, shit, bro. I haven't looked at this. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. That was probably a mistake. We're going to pretend like we didn't see that. But no, seriously, congratulations. No Rest for the Wicked. Can't wait to check that game out. I'm excited for it. And I think it's going to be fun. You see a studio closing soon? Just a little bit, maybe. All right, here's a big story. So apparently, a veteran Assassin's Creed designer has left Ubisoft after decades of being with them. Guys, got to be honest with you. I think what's happening here is that people are checking out at Ubisoft. They see the writing on the wall. They already know what's going on, right? They're looking over here and they're saying, okay, this is not good. Like, this is clearly not good. We're going to be in big, big trouble here. We need to avoid this as much as humanly possible, right? I think that is definitely what's going on here, because according to a lot of insider information and leaks and whatnot, people are extremely unhappy over at Ubisoft right now. The employees are all seeing that the company has been lying to them for years now, especially recently over the last 2 years. And they're starting to just check out. They're starting to say, you know what, this is probably not going to work out. And Ubisoft is going around saying, hey, do you want to fire yourself? We'll take voluntary resignations, because they're trying to get rid of people, right? They fired already 3,500 people. They're going to be firing another few hundred people, if not 1,000 people. They're going to be closing down more studios over the next, couple of years. I think 2028 was their goal. So they have all these plans coming up, and people know their jobs are going to be on the line, and they're not really willing to wait it out. If they could get a better job now with a more established company, they see exactly. Yeah, Blur said it correctly. They see the sinking ship. They know that this is not going to end well. And at this point, like, if if you're not smart enough to see that, like that, you need to get out. You need to get out, right? And we covered the other day on Rumble, but I'll say it for the YouTube crowd right now. I don't know if you guys are aware, but the unions over at Ubisoft are starting to call for the resignation of the CEO of the company. So they're already starting to call for the resignation of Yves Guillemot or whatever his name is. They want him gone. And to be honest, he should have been gone a long time ago. But they're calling for him to be gone. And to be honest with you, this is not exactly the kind of guy that likes to give up power. Right? He's not that kind of guy. You know, so it's going to be very difficult for them to get him to give up power, but they sure are trying. And it's going to be even more difficult because now his son is in charge of Vantage Studios or whatever it is, the new subsidiary with Tencent. He's in charge. He's a co-CEO with somebody else over at that company. So yeah, this ain't looking good, guys. This is not looking good. But this guy, in a post on social media on Tuesday, Luc Couture, announced that he was leaving Ubisoft Montreal after 24. Oh my God, guys, 24 years with the company. 24 years with the company. Can you believe that, boys? 20. Holy shit, that's crazy. 24 years. But you know what? Again, you lose. Listen, I don't know if he was a good employee, but I'm just going to say you lose established employees like this when you have bullshit going down that is beyond their control. Of course, they're going to end up wanting to, check out after a certain point. So that's where we're at right now. And this is after other people have left Ubisoft as well. So at this point, it is what it is, and we'll see what ends up happening. But that's where we're at. So, all right, let me exit out of that. We're going through all the fast topics right now, trying to get through them. So thank you guys again for the support. I appreciate it. I'm going to get to the supers. Just give me a minute. I'm just going through some more fast topics. Let's cover Mind's Eye. Can we please cover Mind's Eye really quick? This is funny. This is actually fucking hilarious. Let's cover Mind's Eye. So Mind's Eye, you guys know, was probably one of the most insulting video game launches of 2025 by far. Okay. It was one of those games that you have to look at it and just sit there and question, dear God, why? Why? Like, why are you doing this? Why are you even here? Why do you exist? You know what? You know what I mean? Like, why do you exist, bro? Please explain to me why you exist, right? It's just one of those games. So, but Mind's Eye is not quitting, which you kind of have to respect a little bit. I also kind of have to question, where the fuck is he getting the money from? Like, where is this guy getting the money from? Yeah, we have Mind's Eye news. Yeah, we have Mind's Eye news. So now Mind's Eye was one of the most catastrophic game launches of 2025, but the studio refuses to quit. Its most significant post-launch update is now live, and apparently they are working on an expansion. They're working on an expansion coming later this year for this game. Crazy. Somehow here we are with the new update and a promise of even bigger things to come. As Benoit famously said, it makes no damn sense. Compels me, though. After months of continued post-launch support following player and critic feedback, the title receives its most significant post-launch update today, achieving the studio's vision for quality and setting the stage for exciting future content updates. The studio also promised that over the coming months, it will unveil a new expansion adding endgame content and enhanced world exploration, along with a new multiplayer mode. Oh, boy. Can you imagine if they try to turn this into like a third-person shooter multiplayer game and that's how they're planning to save it or something like that? He says, I want to thank everyone who's been playing and sharing feedback and our dedicated team who have worked incredibly hard to continue to delight our community. We've listened, we've moved quickly, and we're moving to refine performances and make continuous improvements and deliver substantial combat and gameplay enhancements. New content is in development, and we're committed to steady, meaningful progress. So, yeah. I mean, again, I don't really know what to make of this because, like, this game is fucking dead, bro. Like, who are you making this for? If we go over to Mind's Eye right now, they even changed the profile picture. I feel so bad for this guy. He thinks. Do you guys remember when we covered Mind's Eye? This guy thinks that Mind's Eye ruined his career. This actor. He thinks that Mind's Eye ruined his career. Like, legit ruined his career. Oh my God, bro. Holy shit. He thinks it ruined his career. Guys, there is 21 people playing this game. There is 21 people playing this game right now. 33 in a 24-hour peak. Seriously. 21 people. Now, if you look, it had a little spiky spike. So that patch drew in about 10 concurrent players. Oh, man. Again, this is why I question, like, where are you getting the money from? Where are you? You guys clearly didn't sell that many copies. I mean, this is like a massive felting. There's nobody watching this game on social media whatsoever. You are in like number 1,000 in the top sellers. Like, nobody's playing this game. Nobody's watching it. Nobody's taking part in it. So where are you getting the money from? Is this your life savings or something? Like, what's going on here? I don't know. It's crazy. So yeah, we're going to follow up with this, and we're going to see whether or not this patch brings in some new players. I'm not really sure what the patch did, to be honest with you. I'll check it out later on, and I'll pass the message along. But honestly, I just think people don't care. I think people just don't fucking care. That's really what it is. Jeremy says, crazy that you were banned. Yep. This is the GTA killer. Yeah. Yeah, this is the GTA killer for sure. They're doing a great job. They're doing actually a really good job. Making sure that GTA stays where, puts it in its place. They're doing a good job. So that's the Mind's Eye story. Then we got, hold on. We got this game. So you guys know we've been covering the whole Ashes of Creation thing. Well, apparently there's another studio that raised a lot of money and shut down recently. So this is the anime action RPG studio called Pato Labs that shut down despite gaining, or accruing, I should say, $17.5 million in funding. Okay, so almost $18 million in funding. And they said, we believed making a demo of a familiar but a new game would be our best shot. Farewell to the game Starlight Revolver, we barely knew you. Now, I think I ended up reacting to this game, I believe, on Steam. I'm almost positive. But it kind of reeks of a very similar situation to Ashes of Creation. So let's go over this. It says, in November, just 3 months after it launched into early access, Starlight Revolver halted updates. Despite a demo that did well during Steam Next Fest, the anime action RPG underperformed at launch. Pato Labs laid off half its team, halted updates, and said it was going back to the drawing board, with a follow-up announcement promised for February. Now, that follow-up has arrived, and it's more bad news. CEO Dan Zhu has announced that the studio is shutting down completely. Since our last update in November, we've been grappling with the reality that Starlight Revolver did not achieve the commercial success we needed to sustain Pato Labs. We aimed high, spread ourselves too thin, and shipped the game that couldn't hold a healthy player base. Zhao revealed that Pato spent the last few months working on a demo for a game in a similar style called Edge Divinity, hoping to attract a new round of investors. We believed making a demo of a familiar but new game would be our best route. Zhao wrote, as it allowed us to demonstrate lessons learned in game design and marketing positioning in the quickest and clearest way possible. So we channeled our efforts into a new prototype for a game, Edge of Divinity, that we would pitch for additional funding. Unfortunately, we have not yet been able to secure that funding. So they honestly seemed like they abandoned their game and decided to try to make up some other fucking game quickly in order to try to say, hey, yes, this game died, but what about this game? To try to get money, as quickly as possible. But where's all the money? Did this game really take $18 million to make? Zhao took some time out in his goodbye post to answer questions that have been raised about the studio being funded to the tune of almost $18 million. As Zhao explained, I want to be transparent that the vast majority of those resources went into market rate developer salaries, art, and content production. So basically he's saying all that money went into paying people high wages. A little more than half of that total amount went towards the development of Starlight Revolver. The remainder went to past and experimental projects, mostly Halcyon Zero. Wait, so hold on. Wait. Time. So, I'm sorry. So the money that you raised for one game, half of it went to past and experimental projects? What? Wait, is that even legal? Wait, hold on. I guess it is in a way, but why? You guys raised $18 million for one specific game. Why are you putting half of the money to another game? That's very strange. Halcyon Zero was a prototype version. Oh, that makes sense. Okay. I apologize. Hold on. I should have read a little further. Okay. So Halcyon Zero was a prototype version of Starlight Revolver, which makes Edge of Divinity the studio's third attempt to crack the multiplayer anime-style action RPG. which is the kind of game a lot of people will play. They already are in the form of Genshin Impact. Okay. So Halcyon Zero was essentially the prototype to Starlight Revolver, and now Starlight Revolver is the prototype to Edge Divinity. Sounds like a lot of fucking excuses just to keep the money rolling in. But regardless, yeah, it's pretty fucked. That's fucked up. We're seeing a lot of this lately. Mismanagement of funds, studios getting a lot of indie funding only to turn around and completely just fucking abandon the game or abandon the studio or mismanage their money and all this stuff. Again, we're going to talk about it with Ashes of Creation, but still, it's just crazy, man. It's crazy. All right, let's go over Overwatch. Actually, before Overwatch, we're going to go over the Turkish government really quick. So this is important. Turkish government is proposing legislation. This is huge. That would apparently throttle Steam and other gaming platforms into essentially being unusable if they do not comply with the demands for the company data and the content removal on the platform. So essentially, if you fail to deliver the information that they want within 5 days, that would face escalation fines and up to 90% bandwidth restriction. So they're willing to slow down the entire platform by 90% if you don't give them what they want from you, which is insane. Turkey's Family and Social Services Ministry, as part of a wider legislation aimed at restricting child social media access, has drafted legislation that would impose restrictions and intensive oversight on Steam, Epic, and other digital gaming platforms. While the legislation hasn't yet undergone parliamentary consideration, it would allow the Turkish government under President Recep, I can't say that name, routinely and credibly accused of authoritarian media censorship and information suppression, to restrict traffic on platforms to the point of being unusable if they don't comply with whatever their requirements are. So that's crazy. For anybody that might be living in Turkey, I mean, that is just wild. According to a draft of the legislation obtained by DW Turkish, gaming platforms beyond a certain size will be required to maintain either a regional office or a legal representative within Turkey, whose information will be reported to Turkey's Information and Communication Technologies Authority and made public. Wow. Okay. Additionally, BTK would be able to demand any information from digital platforms, including corporate structure, algorithms, and data processing mechanisms. What the fuck? Bro, just abandon Turkey altogether. I'm sorry. Just abandon Turkey. Like, you guys want to be crazy like this? Nah, fuck these guys. They basically want your whole corporate structure, the algorithms that you use, and every way that you process data. That's insane, bro. They want your arm and legs. For what? For what? That doesn't make any... Bro. Anyway, it is what it is. It's a whole nother place. It's not where I live, but that's crazy, bro. They want everything. For what? Companies that fail to provide the expected information within 5 days will be throttled 90%. Oh, the legislation would also require all games sold on digital platforms to have an appropriate age rating, which that's fine. With unrated games being removed from platform listings. Oh, shit. There goes the indie games. There goes all the indie games. While countries like Germany have similar age requirements, it's unclear whether Steam's own age rating tools would suffice or if BTK would expect games to be rated by authorities like PEGI, which could involve application fees of thousands of dollars that may not be affordable for indie developers. Yeah, that's bad. That's bad for indie games. Yep. Indie games are going to get felted in Turkey, no doubt about it, because there's no way. They're not going to be able to pay this shit. Developers are already tight in their pockets as it is if they're an indie developer. This is crazy. The drafted legislation would also grant BTK authority for monitoring and demanding modifications to game content. Wow, bro. Holy shit. Under earlier Turkish laws restricting online activity, platforms operating in Turkey have been required to remove content deemed to be illegal within 24 hours notice. And of course, they're doing all of this to ensure child safety. Yeah. They want to monitor you and they want to keep track of everything you do and they want your data and they want all this stuff for child safety. Yep. It's all for child safety, guys. That's all it is. Remember that. It's just about the kids. It's all about the kids. Yeah. Okay. That's insane. All right. Well, that's that story. Definitely keep an eye on that. Speaking of keeping an eye on this, after this, we're going to go over supers and then we're going to get into the final topics. Overwatch's biggest season ever kicks off with 5 new heroes all at once, including a cat with a jetpack who can toss you off the map. Yay! For all the women out there that are going to play this character, congratulations, you have a cat on a jetpack. But that's not the story. The story is the fact that apparently Overwatch 2, which launched as Overwatch 2 for a reason, has not provided the gamers with any of the actual promises that they said they were going to give by launching Overwatch 2. So you know what they did? So many years later, they now changed it back to Overwatch. Guys, they are legit. Like, this is this legal? So they released Overwatch 2 with the promise of PvE and all that shit. They never gave you PvE ever. They completely dropped their promise on that. Kind of similar to how Blizzard ended up dropping their PvP promise in Diablo 3. Remember how they promised that on the box, by the way? Remember on the box art for Diablo 3, it said PvP, and then in like small text, they said in a future update, but it said PvP on the box. Then they dropped that completely. And then in Overwatch, they dropped PvE after promising it. And they gave the excuse of, we just don't have the ability or the funds to do so. But here's another pansexual character for you to play as. They dropped it all completely, right? And now apparently they're going to be dropping the 2 and going back to just Overwatch. So no story mode, no PvE, no nothing. You literally, like, all this investment that people did into Overwatch 2. And granted, I believe Overwatch 2 was free, so it is what it is. But it still means that people were investing their time and they were investing their money in microtransactions in a game that thought it was going to have a bunch of these updates like PvE and story mode, and then never came. And now they're going back to just regular Overwatch 1, the name, and Overwatch 2 never existed. So for the last years, what the fuck were people playing? This never existed? It's so weird, man. It's just like, it is the weirdest thing, to be honest with you. But this is where we're at. You couldn't even transfer progression from the first game over to the second game. So then what the fuck are they doing? Are they going to combine the progression, or are they not going to combine the progression? Because that's a little weird. You know? All these big companies being stupid as usual. Yeah, it is. And of course, the journalists are like, the future of Overwatch looks brighter than ever before. How, bro? How? They're literally going back to what they were before, and they're saying, oops, sorry, we're not going to give you what we promised. How is it brighter than it's ever been? Man, these guys just love fucking, like, licking Blizzard's balls. They really do. At least you get a cat. All right, bro. The last thing I expected Blizzard to do is change the name of Overwatch 2 back to Overwatch 4 years after the game came out. But as announced during the recent Spotlight video, that is exactly what Blizzard is doing. Most of the sequel's life has been about earning that too. So why change it now? The reason, according to Blizzard, explained to PC Gamer and other press attending an event at its offices in Irvine last week, is all about the development team's confidence in Overwatch's future. Starting next week, Overwatch is going to look a lot different, literally with a new UI, 5 new heroes, and a kickoff of a whole new storyline. Its 21st season, coming February 10th, will instead be known as Season 1 of the Reign of Talon, a year-long narrative that will be told through in-game events, cinematic short stories, and comics. It's a season that game director Aaron Keller calls the biggest launch we've ever had in Overwatch's history. But what about all the other shit? What about all the other shit? What about the PvE mode? Like, you guys literally fucking lied, bro. You lied about what you were going to add to the game, and that kept people playing. There was a lot of people that kept playing Overwatch 2 because they thought they were eventually going to get something from that. And now they're not getting anything from that. But now you're like, oh, but this is going to be the biggest patch we ever had, and we're going to release all these heroes. And who cares, bro? You fucking lied for 4 years. You lied for 4 years about what you were going to provide. And now you're just pretending like that never happened? Like that doesn't exist? The PvE trailer still exists, by the way. Does it really? Oh my God, does it really? That's got to be illegal, no? Hold on. Like, officially on their channel, Overwatch PvE trailer. Does it, like, officially exist? Let me check. I don't. Oh shit! No, this is on someone else's. This is on someone else's channel. This is from 3 some odd years ago. Hold on. Let me see. Look at this. This is still up on other channels. Hold on.
PvE and Overwatch 2 is to basically move the overall story of Overwatch 4. We've told a lot of short stories along the way. There are a lot of to be continues. It's time for us to answer those questions.
Did this motherfucker say Overwatch 4? You guys went back to 1. You're supposed to count going forward, not go backwards.
close off some of those stories, ask new questions. So the new game will definitely move the overall canon of the lore of Overwatch forward.
Get those doors open!
For the PvP live service, for certain seasons, you're also going to get some PvE maps. You'll be fighting Null Sector in at least some of the maps. They've come back and they're mad, so it's Overwatch's job to take them out. There's going to be
None of this happened, right? For you guys who play Overwatch, none of this happened, right? That's so crazy. You know what's crazy about this game? What's crazy about this game is that this game, I don't know if you guys know the history, because this goes way far back, okay? But Overwatch actually started as Blizzard's new MMORPG that they were going to make after the success of World of Warcraft, which was an MMORPG codenamed Titan, okay? The game started as codenamed Titan, an MMORPG that was going to feature characters that had the gameplay was similar to something like not The Sims, but basically like superheroes with real life jobs and real life things that you could do in the MMORPG. It was very social. You know what I'm saying? So that was their initial idea. So essentially it was all like a PvE. It was a PvE game. That was the initial idea. And then they took it and they transformed it into a hero shooter, right? After canceling Titan. And then now they said they're going to come out with a PvE mode in their hero shooter, and then they canceled that. So this game just flat out, every time it promises something like PvE related, it always gets canceled, which I think is ironic. And to be honest with you, I think that video games like Marvel Rivals really forced Blizzard to get their shit together, because Blizzard was sincerely like trying to coast. I guess the word would be, they were trying to coast on their like their fan base, in the sense that Overwatch had a pretty large fan base in the beginning. It still has a pretty decent fan base now, but it was fucking huge in the beginning, especially because of all the like the porn and the Gooner shit and everything. That shit really drives like the community insane. But it had a huge community, and they were coasting on that. And then Marvel Rivals came out and stole their fucking lunch, and then that's when they were like, that's when they started making all these changes, because if you remember, Overwatch didn't want to do the ultra sexy characters anymore. They were nerfing Tracer. They nerfed her entire body. They turned her into like a 2x4 fucking stick of wood. And they did all this because they were trying to be like very anti-gooner. And then Marvel Rivals came out and they were like, yo, we could goon all day long. We look at fucking all these characters with thick ass thighs and shit. So they went super gooner heavy, and then Overwatch all of a sudden said, you know what, we're going to start adding sexy skins back in the game. And then they did. They started adding, nice looking skins for their characters and stuff. They were interesting. So all of this, I think, not all of it, but I think a lot of it has to do with Marvel Rivals and the overall like reaction to that kind of a video game, because I think that honestly caught them by surprise. I think Marvel Rivals is to Overwatch what Palworld was to Nintendo, just not as big. You know what I'm saying? Because Palworld obviously woke up Nintendo, because Nintendo was fucking sleeping. Nintendo was sleeping. Game Freak was sleeping. Pokemon was sleeping. They were all sleeping, and they were riding on their nostalgia, and they knew that their customers were going to buy whatever the fuck they put out. And then Palworld came around and stole so much money from the sleeping giant that was known as Pokemon, because they just left it out there for them to take. And I think it's the same thing that happened here with Overwatch and Marvel Rivals. So I would not be surprised. But anyway, let's continue. I find this to be really interesting.
Content for you to immerse yourself in and continue to play over and over again.
A lot of the older guys from the original Overwatch team, they're coming back, but they need help with some of the younger generation like Brigitte and Lucio. So we're going to tell the story of how Overwatch basically gets back together. Another thing we want to do with the story is to showcase more of where the characters are from. For example, Torbjorn is from Gothenburg. Players will get a chance to see what Torbjorn's factory looks like.
You can play PvE with your friends and immerse yourself in the world and stay inside of it a little bit longer.
Wow, this is incredible.
All right, well, that's basically that. So, in any case, I think that it's insane that they are able to just change the name like that. I think it's fucking wild. I think it's insulting to the people who gave money and time, especially time, who gave money and time to this company, Blizzard, Activision, whatever you want to call them. And there's just no level of respect there. There's no level of respect. Blizzard is the only, I swear to God, they're like the only company now, because they were never like this. Like when they were original Blizzard, they would make you wait and wait and wait until the game was perfect. Now they're not like this, right? I think it's insane. They're the only ones that put out all these promises and then they're not delivering on them. And they're just like, well, we'll just give you more heroes and like more skins and stuff. Don't you guys want that? More heroes, more skins? It's crazy. I think it's crazy. I really do. I don't know. I don't know. All right. Anyway, it's all good. All right. That's the Overwatch story. Let's catch up on supers, and then we're going to get into the last couple of topics that we got. And then we'll go from there, man. We got Randall the Vandal for 20 months says, hello, Hypnotic. Did you know insanity is hereditary? You get it from your kids. Also have a very important job interview tomorrow. Wish me luck. Hey, you're gonna fucking land it, bro. You're gonna land it, Randall the Vandal. Make it happen. I want to hear tomorrow that you landed the job. Masters Whip would attend. Good to see more hot white women without tramp stamps and the AI, mate. Love from the South Pole. Hey, shout out to the Masters Whip. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. You're a legend. Dark Obsidian 999. Didn't I tell you on Twitter that you were gonna have one hell of a comeback stream? Yes, you did, ironically. But you know, I don't assume anything's gonna happen. I just hope for the best and hope that people are entertained and having fun. And then whatever happens, happens. Black Tail gave for 12 months. Hypnotic, you're an example of work ethic for everyone, truly. I appreciate that, dude. And congrats on 12 months, man. Zark says, Hypnotic, remember the original Blizzard model? Yes, soon. Their model, when it's ready, it'll be ready. Their model, like, the meme was soon TM. That was the meme. That was the meme. Odin Dark for a 2. Fable equals hate speech, apparently. Yeah, apparently. Dragon with a 2. AI does hallucination a lot on YouTube. It sure does. It doesn't know how to differentiate. That's the problem. But then again, it's like, so you want me to believe a human looked at that? So that means that you want me to believe that your humans are retarded, because that's the only way you could look at that and say that's hate speech. You know? Speedy Cake with a 5. If they think Cassie's evil for talking about what she does in games, I like to see what the AI does to Sims players' channels. Bro, exactly. Exactly. Panda Rocket 499. What do you call an alien with 3 balls? E.T. the extra testicle. Bro, come on, man. What are we doing? Blue White Scorpio with a 5. My gaming clip shorts keep getting age restricted due to game violence and language. That's a thing on YouTube, by the way. It has annihilated my algorithm. Don't know what to do. It was okay for so long. So they recently changed that. They said that violent video games were going to get age restricted. They didn't exactly explain what kind of violent video games, but that is what's happening. Yes, that is absolutely what's happening. And it sucks. Fallen Angel for 29 months says 29 months, so close to 30. Can we get Fighter, Street Fighter, or similar waifu video? Also happy to see you back, Hypno. I could definitely work on it. Now that we're back on YouTube, I could definitely start working on some more clips again. I was just handling a lot of things in the background. Still am, but I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. Jason Alto with a 5. Man, that sounds like pro-Somali Timu Ed Grift. Thank you. Mr. Melancholy with a 5. Turkish president is a huge authoritarian. He once had a child arrested for defacing a poster about him years ago. What? That's fucking dumb, bro. Alucard with it to abandon Turkey. Ye who live there. Yes, I would agree with that probably at this point. If you're a gamer anyway. Let's go over to Rumble. Rumble, what do we got, man? We got Draconic with that membership. Thank you. I appreciate that, brother. Dr. Spike with a $100 Red Boy Hyper. Here we go! Mucha lucha! Mucha lucha! It's the way of life! Mucha lucha! He says, one more Red Boy. Now get to the topics. Haha. Also Hinata. Bro, he's picking up like a play. He's picking up the playbook from Trey, bro. Where they start donating Red Boys and they just say random waifus that just... We're not even in the waifu battle right now, bro. We're not even in the waifu battle right now. Shout out to Dr. Spike with a $100 Red Boy Hyper Banger. I got a clip just for you, my man. I think you're going to like this for sure.
All right, boys, we have another Red Boy Hyper Banger. Let's bring the ladies in.
Shout out to the legend, Dr. Spike, man, holding it down. The Red Boys are going crazy today. I don't even know how many like Red Boys came in, to be honest with you. I know we got like 5 on YouTube. We got a ton on Rumble as well. You guys are insane. I appreciate that. Weenie for Sweetie says, how many subjects have been covered so far? Like 10, I think. I'm pretty sure we did like 10 plus or around there. It felt like a lot. We covered a lot of topics. And then we got Carnat Ketro with a 2. No dad jokes for me because I am not a parent. Indie game shout out, Ground Zero, retro Resident Evil style horror survival game. I think we covered that. I'm almost positive we covered that. It sounds familiar. But I appreciate that, brother. Thank you, man. Dragon Knight with a 2 says Moon Studios, the same studio who created the Ori series. No wonder Rest for the Wicked is so successful. Yes, it's the same studio behind Ori and the Blind Forest. Fantastic video game, which explains their art style. Because if you look at No Rest for the Wicked, the art style is very similar. And I actually like that. I like that a lot. T-Jab says he thinks we have 9 Red Boys tonight. That would make sense. Almost at 10. Dr. Spike dropping 5 memberships over on Rumble, spreading the love over on Rumble. Thank you for that.
Fucking go! It's a membership banger!
Shout out to Dr. fucking Spike. Everybody make sure that you guys put Dr. Spike emojis in the chat. I appreciate that, man. Thank you guys. Thank you so much, Dr. Spike. Let's see what else we got, man. We got Torinol with a 5 got popcorn. Relooted releases in 6 days. Don't even joke about Relooted, man, because a couple of guys in the Griffcast chat were trying to see how much I would take to play that game. I'm like, bro, come on. We're already doing Life is Strange. Let's relax a little bit. Let's relax. Gray the Merchant with $1. As a guy who's been through the trenches with Activision Blizzard, if they combine, your whole system is fucked. Happened to Warcraft 3, suffer Blizzies. They are going to fuck up the game further. I don't know, man. Gray the Merchant with $1. The only good thing from Blizzard is leaving StarCraft and StarCraft 2 alone. It's because they don't have the skill to do an RTS anymore. I want you to understand that it has nothing to do. It has nothing to do with them not doing it out of like some sort of respect. They're not doing StarCraft because they don't have the skill to do it anymore. That's just a fucking fact, in my opinion. They don't have the skill, nor do they have the desire to do it because they want easy money. And StarCraft is not easy money for them. They got to actually design a true good RTS experience, and they're just not. They don't have the skill to do it anymore. I'm sorry, they don't. Look at what they did with Warcraft 3 Reforged. They don't. They just don't. They don't. So that's why they're leaving it alone. All their talent, everybody, all the Asian people who made StarCraft, bro, because let's be real, a lot of the developers were Asian at the time. They're gone, bro. They're all gone. They don't have the fucking skill to do it. And at this point, just leave StarCraft alone. Let it be there for the people they want to play it. The last thing we need is for them to do what they did with Warcraft 3 and Warcraft 3 Reforged. We don't need them to do StarCraft Reforged. We don't need it. We don't need it. We do not need StarCraft Reforged. Plain and simple. I'm serious. We don't need it. But thank you. I appreciate it. We got Alucard with a 5. When does a joke become a dad joke? When it starts getting old. Ain't that the fucking truth, bro? Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? So sad, but so true. Fun fact, though. I saw a comment. Where is it at? They should sell StarCraft to the Asians. Fun fact. I don't know if anything ever happened from it, but about a year ago, Blizzard was in talks of selling StarCraft to, I believe, either Tencent or NetEase. I don't remember who it was, but they were talking about selling the game to essentially NetEase or Tencent and to have them make a StarCraft video game for them. Because, again, they don't have the skill to fucking do it. So they were going to hire someone else to do it. They were going to sell the IP, like the licensing to the IP to these people, and they were going to make a StarCraft video game, a modern StarCraft video game for them. But I don't think anything ever came of that. I think that it never saw the light of day. It didn't see any but that's the last that I heard of that. So you think it was it Nexon? You think it was Nexon? It was one of those fucking companies. I don't remember who, but it was one of those big companies, and they it never happened. So I don't know. But I'm sure it'll happen. That might happen in the future. Let's do gifted games really quick, and then we're getting into the last topic. Hold on, let's do gifted games. We managed to get through a lot of stuff today, guys. This is amazing. Thank you guys so much. Again, what an amazing comeback stream. YouTube and Rumble held it down big time. Miss Molly says, Sparkles to celebrate coming back to YouTube. Gifted a game called Firework. An accidental fire at a funeral forces the police to reinvestigate a closed case of massacre. That sounds interesting. Shout out to Miss Molly for that. I appreciate it. And then she also gifted Alone in the Dark anthology series, which comes out with Alone in the Dark 2008, Alone in the Dark 1, Alone in the Dark 2, and Alone in the Dark 3. Holy shit. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Molly, gifting all the horror games in the month of February. I appreciate that. That is legendary. Thank you so much. Holy shit. I'm gonna accept it behind the scenes because for some reason it is not letting me do it. I don't know why it's not letting me do it, but it's just not. Okay, here. Cool. Accepted that and accepted Alone in the Dark. Thank you, Miss Molly. I appreciate that very much. Okay. So Yof Omega for the 2 says, glad you are back. Sick as hell at the moment. Needed this. Hey, shout out to you, man. Feel better. Feel better. I hope it's nothing nothing crazy. Like not any flu or anything. I hope you're good. All right, let's get into some of this final topics. Hold on, before we do, you guys want to see something funny? You always want to see something funny.
Finish them.
That's awesome. That is awesome. You gotta love it. Oh, the accuracy is crazy. It's crazy, man. Okay. That's what AI was made for, man. YouTube, that was AI. That was AI, you fucks. Okay. Okay, so let me X out of all the Overwatch conversation and stuff like that, and let's talk about Ashes of Creation. All right, let's see. So today we're going to be talking about Ashes of Creation. And to give you guys a little bit of context, for those of you that may not know the full context, let me explain to you some of the things that are going on with Ashes of Creation. So with this particular video game, this one was being hailed as like the savior of savior MMORPGs, okay? This thing was being fan-funded over on Kickstarter. It was announced in 2016, if I remember correctly, by the developer Intrepid Studios. And this was basically founded by somebody called Steven Sheriff. They were going to be using Unreal Engine. And then later on, they announced Unreal Engine 5. And this was all going to be like a player-driven style world. Very like crazy dynamic economy. Some PvP with like risk and reward. But although they say that it's not very casual friendly, but it wasn't meant to be that way. And it wasn't going to be like a theme park MMO structure. It was going to be more sandboxy kind of open world. So a lot of people really were looking forward to this game and we're super excited for it, to the point where the Kickstarter launched in May 2017 with a goal of about $750,000. And keep that in mind, guys, $750,000 was their goal. And they actually ended up hitting $3.2 million plus from over 19,000 backers. And they hit the $3.2 million in, they hit the goal of $750,000 in a little under 12 hours. So this was one of the fastest funded MMORPG Kickstarters of all time. That's how big it was, okay? And then obviously this funded all the core development for the game, initially anyway. And then eventually they ended up selling a bunch of additional crowdfunding, packs, all this stuff that the numbers were never publicly disclosed. But there was a lot of money going into this video game and also a lot of time going into this video game. This game was in development for a little over 10 years until recently, right? So this game made tens of millions of dollars. We can't prove that, but I have to imagine it made tens of millions of dollars, especially with the recent Steam release in December. But unfortunately, the game had repeated delays, multiple alpha phases that were stretched out way further than they were supposed to. The scope was just way too big. The promises were just way too many. And it had a very heavy reliance on community funding and overall hyping up the game to try to get the money until eventually people just got disappointed again. But, you know, it had an extremely long pre-release, which was about 9 years, and then it was finally released in early access in December. I believe it was December 11th of 2025. It ended up having a peak concurrent player count of around 31,000, give or take, and the reviews were generally mixed, but they were trending more towards negative than positive. But the people that were positive about the game were more of the hardcore players. But regardless, it was generally mixed. There was a lot of issues with the game, bugs, performance instability, botting and cheating was huge, real money trading, all kinds of stuff that you would expect from MMORPGs. In this game, it was like tenfold. It was running rampant, and they weren't really doing too much about it. And apparently, according to insiders, the co-founder was unbanning certain real money trading guilds. They were getting involved in RMTs and basically doing favoritism. So that's interesting. And, you know, obviously the developers did acknowledge there were performance problems, PvP balance issues, bug and system issues, all that stuff. So now we have the major turning point, okay? And I'm just giving you the context so we all understand what's going on. The major turning point for this game was when it was announced that on January 31st, extremely suspiciously, by the way, the founder, Steven Sheriff, resigned on January 31st, 2026. And the reason why he resigned is because he was basically saying that there was ethical disagreements with the board of directors. Now, we looked into a bunch of these things. We looked into the company. There is no board of directors, at least not publicly known. If you look at the company filings, it was filed with 0 board of directors. There's even statements from Steven specifically stating that he doesn't answer to a board of directors. He doesn't answer to anything. Like they just basically, there is no corporate overlord structure at the company, and they were doing everything with passion. That's essentially what it was. And then after he resigned, then the senior staff leadership also apparently resigned in protest against whoever they were protesting or whatever at the time. And then what ended up happening was the WARN Act notices were issued, and all the developers ended up getting WARN Act notices where there was over 200 developers laid off. Every single job, every single position, everybody lost their job. Okay? And the studio effectively is shuttering down. It's closing down. Now, there's reports out there of internal conflict, you know, overambition, mismanagement, whatever. You can make up, you know, you can think in your mind what it might be. I think it's all those things personally. But here's the interesting thing. So the game was removed from Steam for purchase, thankfully, because the game released on December 11, 2025, and then it shut down like a month and a half later. So that's extremely suspicious. People are saying that the game was released on Steam in order to avoid the refund promise that was in the Kickstarter for Ashes of Creation. They specifically stated, and I quote, that they will refund every dollar that came into the Kickstarter if Ashes of Creation were to, God forbid, never release. And on a technicality, it does count to release your game in early access, and it does count as a release. It may not be the 1.0 release, but if you look at the terms of service and you look at how they describe early access, they describe it as an actual release for the game. So a lot of people are trying to say that the reason why they did that in December was to avoid the eventual refund that they would have to do if they were to shut down the studio before ever supposedly releasing the game, if that makes sense, right? So the game gets canceled and everything is kind of up in the air. The employees are now starting to speak out. All of this is just going crazy. And, you know, now we have developers that are speaking out about this. We have somebody who seemed like she was in charge of HR, essentially explaining the other day that she at first was told there was going to be 100 developers laid off. And then afterwards, about a couple of days later, she found out that everybody was being laid off, including her as well. So she was keeping it a secret from people that she thought were going to be laid off and talking to them one by one, getting them ready for their eventual layoff, not to realize that she herself was also going to be laid off a couple of days later. So the whole thing is just a cluster of nonsense that is happening. It is ridiculous. Now, the main thing I want to cover too in this whole situation, this whole story, is that thankfully Steam is finally responding to player refunds. Apparently, there are reports of players finally getting refunds for Ashes of Creation, which apparently, by the way, Steam has also rumoredly frozen all funds to the developer. A lot of people thought that they were going to get the money and run, but that's apparently not what's happening here. We have a video from a YouTuber called Kira that was shared over on X, and I want to showcase you this video so you can have a better understanding. Listen to what he has to say. He has a lot of like inside knowledge about what's going on with Ashes. Check this out.
So in an email that was sent out, it reads, as of Friday afternoon, the company reasonably expected to receive funds from Steam that would have allowed payroll to be processed and operations to continue while next steps were evaluated. At approximately 6 a.m. Friday morning, the company was notified that these funds were being held. As a result, payroll could not be processed as anticipated. What this means is, obviously, people are of the opinion that the release, they were going to take the funds from Steam and run, and they were going to make away with a whole bunch of money. They're getting nothing. So in an email that was sent out,
okay, so if you look, they didn't even pay, according to that video, and this is well documented because the developers have admitted this. They're not even being paid their final funds. They're not being paid money that was owed to them on the first, and the company was initially blaming financial issues as to the reason why they could not pay the developers for their last paychecks. So the developers are not getting paid. Everybody's getting fired. And apparently the reason why is because Steam froze the funds. So, and I think that's a good thing personally, because I would look into this with a very suspicious eye if I were Steam. And I would be looking and saying, this kind of seems like a pump and dump. You know what I mean? This seems highly suspicious. And to freeze the funds, I feel like is a safe bet right now while they figure out what's going on. So again, now that we know that the funds are frozen, I just want to remind people that thankfully, and again, if you play Ashes of Creation and you're watching this right now, if you play Ashes of Creation, if you bought it recently, if you have more than 2 hours, give it your best shot to try to get a refund, because apparently, at least according to Games Radar, they are giving refunds, okay? It says that hold on, let me scroll down. It shows here on the Ashes of Creation Reddit page, it says Steam refund accepted. It says, hello, thank you for contacting Steam support. Don't worry, let me help you out with this. I have closely reviewed your request. Even though your purchase does not qualify for a refund within our refund policy and common refund questions, I've decided to open an exception for you and issue the refund. The purchase has been removed from your account and a credit has been applied to your Steam wallet. The credit can be used for future Steam purchases. Your current Steam wallet balance is displayed in the top right-hand corner of the Steam client window next to your name. So that's a major W for Steam, because I could guarantee you if this was PlayStation, this would have never happened. Okay, PlayStation would be like, you're shit out of luck. You played the game for 0.5 seconds. We're not refunding you. But luckily it's on Steam, and even though it didn't qualify for the refund, they still decided to do it anyway. So that's a W in my opinion. So good job, Steam, on that situation. So again, if you're watching this and you have Ashes of Creation and you don't want to get potentially robbed of your money, the least you can try to do is refund it with Steam. There's obviously no guarantee that this is going to happen, but it is a chance, right? You have another one here. It looks like it says how to get a Steam refund on Ashes of Creation when you played more than 2 hours and after 2 weeks. It says, dear Steam support team, I am requested a refund. This is what he wrote to Steam, I guess. I'm requested a refund for Ashes of Creation due to extraordinary circumstances related to the sudden collapse of the developer Intrepid Studios as of February 1st, 2026. This is not a standard refund request based on gameplay preference or dissatisfaction, but a report of a broken promise and an effectively abandoned early access product. The studio closure is the reason for this request. It has been widely reported that Intrepid Studio has ceased operations, senior leadership has resigned, and the development team has been laid off with WARN Act notices issued. It's an abandoned early access product, and Ashes of Creation was sold as an early access title with the explicit promise of continued development and future delivery of core features. With the studio dissolving, development has permanently halted, and the advertised product will never be completed. Without an active development team, the game servers are to shut down or become non-functional, rendering the product completely unplayable. I respectfully ask Valve to treat this case similarly to previous precedents, such as the day before, where refunds were issued due to the studio closure and false or unfulfilled advertising shortly after release. Given these circumstances, I request a manual review of this purchase, as the product is now effectively defunct and no longer deliverable as sold. Thank you for your time and consideration. I feel like that's really well written, right? That's the best way I think you're going to have at having a chance at getting a refund for the game. a ton of posts saying Steam accepted my refund request. Steam accepted my refund request. Again, the lies of the false prophet have come to light. All hail our true Lord and Savior, Lord Gaben. Oh my God, this is amazing. So again, guys, the good thing about buying video games on Steam is that a lot of times they will be willing to work with you when it comes to refunds. And this is one of those situations. If they know the game looks like it's potentially not necessarily a scam, but like a broken promise, like the person said before, then they're more willing to work with you and they're more willing to get through the situation. And this whole situation has blown up so much to the point where it seems like they're willing to do that or at least understand why that's happening, right? So with all the layoffs and all this nonsense, Ashes of Creation, it's a really unfortunate way for this game to essentially disappear. But sadly, I can't see how this is not going to end up in a courtroom. I really can't. I can't see how this situation doesn't end up in the court of law at some point in time, which is why Steven's being very quiet. A lot of these developers are being very quiet, although some of them are talking, just not in the way that you would expect right now. And at this point, don't be surprised if we end up seeing an announcement similar to what happened with Krafton and Subnautica 2. We're going to see the announcement of a lawsuit. It really is just only a matter of time. So that's what's going on with Ashes of Creation. Thankfully, there are Steam refunds going out, and Steam did, in fact, freeze their funds, at least temporarily for right now. And if they do get their funds, they better fucking pay their developers the last month of their service before kicking them out the door. I feel like that's the right thing to do. So that's basically it for Ashes of Creation, guys. Not bad overall. Fucked up. I really was. Yo, Will Ida. Look at this guy, bro. Holy shit.
Holy shit.
The amount of red boys today have been insane, my guy, man. Shout out to Willie with the $100 red boy hype.
Here we go! Mucha lucha, mucha lucha. It's the way of life. Mucha lucha.
He says, that joke. 2 peanuts were walking down an alleyway and one of them was assaulted. Oh my God, bro. He said assaulted. Assaulted. Oh my God. And then Cozy Goober's throwing salt emojis in the chat for extra salt. Wow. Thank you. Thank you for the fucking hell, bro. I swear, God. I swear. Hey, Willie, thank you for the red boy hyper banger. I appreciate that, my guy. You fucking legend, man. I need to know what clip you want. Let me know what clip you want if you know the clips. If not, I'll pick one for you, my guy. Thank you. The support means a lot, dude. Sincerely. Epic, man. Fucking A, bro. Willie's crazy. Willie is crazy. I appreciate you, bro. Jason Alator with a 5 scammers of creation, Somali Ed. Yeah, it was Ashes of Leering. That's really what it is. Torinol with a 2 names have meaning. You can't ignore them. Ashes of Creation, like the management was saying, gonna make something and burn it to the ground. Oh, look, he made a thing. And is that fire? I will say that it is ironic. The name is very ironic. I will say that. It is extremely ironic to be called Ashes of Creation and have this entire situation go down. Yeah, you're 100%. You're 100% right on that. It's crazy. Old Man Cat, we did play Goth Latinas. We did play Goth Latinas. The Black Cowgirls haven't been played, and I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. Everything else got played, I'm pretty sure. We got Obi-Wan Kenobi with a 5. I was going to be a monk, but I never got the chance. Wow. Yo, what's up, Clarence? How you doing, man? Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for the welcome back, dude. Wow, Obi-Wan Kenobi. That is definitely special. I'm not going to lie to you. That is next level special. I appreciate that. Why Ashes of Creation did not outsource to India to save Buddy? Well, because look what happened to fucking Sands of Time remake, bro. They're not going to do that. All right, for Willie hasn't told me what he wanted, so I'm just going to rock with the Black Cowgirls. It's the only clip that we haven't played unless he changes his mind. Let me know. Whatever it's going to be. Appreciate you, man. Holy shit. Goth? All right, you want Goth Asian or Goth Latinas? What's it going to be? Asian or Latinas? Did I play the Clanker clips? I did. Odin Dark, thank you, man. I appreciate you, bro. Thanks for hanging out. He said Goth. Yeah, but there's Goth Asians and Goth Latinas, old man cat. I know you want Asians. He said Latina. See? Good thing I asked.
All right, boys, we have another Red Boy Hyper Banger. Let's bring the ladies in.
Shout out to Willie Will IDOT. Thank you for the $100 Red Boy Hyperbanger, my man. I appreciate that. That is fucking legendary, bro. Thank you. I think that's 10 for the stream so far. 10 Red Boys. Holy shit, man. Alucard with a 5. There were 2 monkeys working in the field. One of them is a. Oh my god. Alucard is a menace to society. He needs to be stopped. He's a menace to society. He needs to be stopped, bro. Miss Bella Games, what's going on, Miss Bella Games? How are you doing? Welcome, Miss Bella Games. How are you doing? Shout out to you. All right, boys, listen. Yeah, we're pretty much caught up on everything, man. We are caught up on everything. Thank you guys so much for the insane support on the return stream. I appreciate you. Willie says, dude. If you are not going to hang out in the waifu battle, I implore you to please do the following. Okay. I released a video today. Obviously, you probably wouldn't get notified very much because I was banned for a week and I'm currently under suppression. That happens every time you get banned. So I have a video that I'm putting in the chat right now that I released today. It's about Outer Worlds and Avowed. Please make sure to go check out that video. Talking about that entire situation. The game underperformed expectations. The chuds were right again. All that stuff. Make sure you guys check out that video. I would greatly appreciate your support on it. Miss Bella Game says, I'm doing good. I spent a fun evening getting tortured by a little game called Biped. Fun co-op game. What is that? What is Biped? But yes, obviously, if you could go watch that video, please leave a comment, like, long view duration, all that good stuff. I would greatly appreciate it. Trying to get back into the algorithm to the best of our ability. We are going to do the waifu battle. We do have, obviously, we did a whole week of waifu battles on Rumble. So quite a bit has happened for those of you on YouTube that didn't know what was going on. So we're going to get into the waifu battle and we're going to have some fun and close out the stream. That's what we're going to do. And I might even do a gaming stream tonight. I don't know. I'm in a good mood. So let's do the waifu battle and let's see what we got from there. All right, boys. The waifu battle is here. Oh, is it pronounced biped? Oh, I mean, she put it as one word, so I thought it was biped. I didn't realize it was biped. My mistake. I'm retarded. It is what it is. So if you guys haven't been watching the waifu battle on Rumble and you missed it, we have a brand new champion who's been winning for a couple of streams now. And that is none other than the legendary Urza Scarlet, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. That is right. So before we bring out the challenger, I want to go over the rules of engagement that Trey and everybody else never likes to follow. Rule number 1. Well, before we do that, hold on. We got a member chat from Vice Admiral Deco of Mars. 1 month. Member for 1 month. Welcome back. Sorry I'm late. My washer broke. It's all good, man. Well, at least not that, but it's all good. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for 1 month. Dr. Spike with a 2 trolling us with Hinata. You see what I'm saying? Dr. Spike, Trey, they all do the same thing. They troll us all the time. Thank you, Dr. Spike, for the 2. Rule number 1. All super chats during the waifu. Oh, Miss Bella says that you sent me the game. Yeah, I saw the message. Thank you. I'm going to check that out. All super chats during the waifu battle can and will count to a particular waifu, but the only way that it is going to count is if you put the name of the waifu in the super chat first. You got to put the name first. If you do not put the name of the waifu in the super chat first, it will not count. It does not matter how big they are. King to Talk with a 2, my $2 worth here. Love your stuff, Hypnotic. Thank you, King to Talk. I appreciate you, dude. Shout out to you, man. I appreciate the 2. Shout out to King to Talk. Rule number 2. You can vote for any waifu regardless of who's on the screen. It doesn't matter. You could vote for the champion, who is Ursa, or you could vote for the challenger, who you're about to find out. It doesn't matter who's on screen at the time. Last but not least, after the second waifu comes off screen, I'm going to do a 30-second countdown. After that 30-second countdown, no more super chats are going to count. It doesn't matter how big they are. The last super chat that shows up on my screen is going to be the one that counts. So please, if you're going to vote, vote early and vote hard, ladies and gentlemen. Do we understand the rules? We don't understand the rules. Come on, let's be real. Let's be honest with each other. Let's go. All right, listen, boys. So now it's Rumble and YouTube, okay? Rumble was holding it down during the waifu battle, but now it's going to get messy now that YouTube's involved. It's going to get crazy. Guys, I had to bring back a challenger that we haven't seen in a little while. Actually, I think longer than a little while. She was a fan favorite when she was here, and she did get quite a bit amount of wins, if I'm not mistaken. So we're going to bring out a challenger that I think has what it takes to at least take on Urza. Now, winning, that's a whole nother story. But taking on Urza, I think she has what it takes. All right, boys. The challenger that's going to go up against Urza is going to be none other than the one and the only... Yep. Shizuka Marikawa, ladies and gentlemen. Let's start the clock and let's see who is going to win. Is it going to be Urza? No, it's not Lucy. Is it going to be Urza or is it going to be Shizuka Marikawa? Let's find out, ladies and gentlemen. Urza versus Deadeye's Lock for a 2 set. Oh my God, bro. Deadeye's Lock with a 2 voted for Lucy. It's not Lucy. It's not Lucy. You fucked up. You gooned too early. Time out. Let me lower the music. You gooned too early. What are we doing? Oh my God, bro. Oh my God. He gooned too early, guys. Way too early. But I appreciate the 2, Deadeye's Lock. Thank you, brother. And then he did $1 for Shizuka, LOL. It's a premature goon, yeah. That's so funny, dude. Holy shit. Nice one. Nice one. Yes, the MILF is back, boys. The MILF is back. Wow. Wow. What? What? Whoa. Whoa. Time out. This is the earliest chair shot I think I've ever seen. Willie Will. A $200 Red Boy Hyper fucking banger for Urza right off the bat. Right off the bat. Are we seriously gonna felt Shizuka like that? There's no way. There's gotta be somebody out there fighting for Shizuka. There has... Oh my God, boys. What the fuck just happened? Flip Shazam with a 2 for Sailor Moon for the win. Thank you, Flip Shazam. I appreciate that. Mr. Melancholy with a 2. Shizuka thick with soft pineapples. It's pretty accurate. It's pretty accurate. Alucard with a 2 for Shizuka. She could teach me a thing or two. Bricked. Let's fucking go. Let's go. Oh my God. The fight is on. The fight is on. Mr. Spanglish with a $100 Red Boy Hyper Banger for Shizuka. Says, give me redhead. In reality, I need buddy girls. Oh, man. It is on. It is on. Shizuka is still in this shit. She's not going to get felted. She's too damn good. Dr. Spike with a 2 for Hinata on Rumbles. Trolling us. Dr. Spike is trolling us. Torinol with a 10 for Urza over on Rumble. Thank you, Torinol. I appreciate that, my man. Legendary. Wow, this was interesting, boys. Holy shit! Talk about a shooting your big shot early, bro. Holy shit! Holy shit! Mr. Spanglish with a counter to Willie, but Willie Will did 200 and Mr. Spanglish did 100. So that means that Urza still has a $100 plus lead, but at least it's not a $200 plus lead. But holy fuck, that was good. That was good. Mr. Spanglish came to play today. I see what's going on here. I appreciate that. Holy shit. Pay It Forward was like, well, that's it. Wrap it up, boys. No, it's never over until it's over. It's never over until it's over. All right, time to bring out Urza to the screen, ladies and gentlemen. Looking elegant. Not bad. All right, boys. Let's start the clock and let's see who is going to win. Is it going to be Urza or is it going to be Shizuka? Let's find out. Let's find out. Deidre Connick on Rumble says he's conflicted. I understand. I understand. Sonia says, I hope the Urza pick is good. It's classy, Sonia. You should like that. It's classy. It's classy. Real life fake monkey with a 2. When does a joke turn into a dad joke? When it becomes apparent and he put no spaces in between. That's insane. That's insane. Thank you for that. I still read it perfectly, though. Okay, boys, who's going to help Shizuka out? Says TJ's Art and Comics. I don't know, bro. Mr. Spanglish went really hard right now. It really will. I don't know. It's kind of all over the place right now. We'll find out. We will see what the deal is. Sonia says it's acceptable. Okay. I respect that. I respect that. We might have some chair shotters just waiting for the right moment. Everybody's a little bit quiet. They're feeling each other out, not in the gay way. They're feeling each other out. Moogle says Shizuka over on Rumble. I respect that. I like Shizuka. I think she's pretty cool. Joe Jimenez says Shizuka. Battle spicy. John D says Rocky for the win. Cozy says Ayo. China says redhead. You like Urza? Urza is the more popular one. That's obvious. Great the Merchant with $1 on Rumble says Urza. Also, I agree with you on the StarCraft 2. Blizzard lost all the Asians to give an IP such as StarCraft to NetEase would be better in terms of respect. At least they know their product. Yeah, they were basically going to pass it off to somebody who could actually make the RTS because they just can't do it anymore. They may not want to admit it, but they can't do it. Deidre Connick with a 2. Urza and Shizuka split. So that's $1 split for both waifus. That's $1 split for both waifus. Ms. Bella says the redhead looks like a classy lady. Oh, that's now. You haven't seen her. You haven't seen her in the other outfits. TJ says, but I don't like how it's quiet. It is pretty quiet right now. It's a little scary. It's a little bit scary, but we'll see what happens. Everybody's feeling either scared or comfortable. I think Willie's feeling very comfortable right now. And I think Mr. Spanglish is questioning who is going to help him. I think that's what's going on right now. Pretty sure. Pretty sure. Elysium says, what do you mean you got banned on YouTube? You mean demonetized, or is it just clickbait? Rewind the stream, bro. It's not fucking clickbait. I was gone for 7 days. How is that clickbait, bro? Come on. Backbone with a 2 says Urza over on Rumble. Thank you, Backbone. I appreciate that. That's another 2. That's another 2 for Urza. All right, boys. We are going to bring Urza off this stream. Backbone with another 2 for Urza on Rumble. That is 2 back-to-back. 4 for Urza. Shout out to you, man. Look at this fucking guy, bro. The ultimate... Oh, my God, bro. These guys trolling so hard. Dr. Spike with $7.42 says Hinata, Urza, Shizuka split. Bro, what are we doing? What are we doing? Shout out to Dr. Spike, man. All right, guys. It's time for the final countdown. I'm giving a couple of seconds from Rumble to catch up because they lag behind us. They lag behind us. All right, here we go. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. We're waiting for Rumble. We're waiting. And that is it.
Waifu Battle Belt is mine!
The last super chat that is going to count is Willy Will I Dot for $150 Red Boy Hyper Banger for Urza. What a battle, bro. What a battle. Like that's an understatement, bro. Holy shit, the chair shots are everywhere.
Waifu Battle Belt is
mine! Mr. Spanglish also threw in $101 Red Boy Hyper Banger that counted for Shizuka. Shout out to Mr. Spanglish. Thank you so much for that. That is unbelievably legendary. And then, out of nowhere, a massive fucking counter. A $200 Red Boy Hyper Ultra Bang.
Waifu Battle Belt is mine!
Zevin Cross says, Shizuka, I would prefer the pink-haired girl with the glasses from the show, but I will help Shizuka out. Bro, I don't know who won this. I am not even kidding, bro. I have no idea who the fuck won this. I really don't. This is all over the place. I'm going to start just playing clips because we got, hold on. We got 2, 3, 5, 6, 7 clips. 7 clips. So mods counted up. I'm going to play 7 clips. I have no idea who won. So let's just start with the clip.
All right, boys, we got another Red Boy Hyper Banger. Let's bring the ladies in. let's bring the ladies in!
It's a Red Boy Hyper Banger, bitches! Let's bring the ladies in! All right, boys, we have another Red Boy Hyper Banger. Let's bring the ladies in!
That's 5 clips so far. Shout out to you guys. I got to do 2 more clips, but we did get the numbers in, so I just want to get to that while we have it. And guys, holy shit. Talk about an absolutely insane waifu battle. Fucking hell, that was close. That was really close. Wow, bro. Oh my God. Shizuka at $407 flat against Urza at $364 flat, which means the winner and shockingly the new Waifu Battle champion is none other than the one and the only hot teacher Shizuka, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I am honestly blown away right now. Holy shit, that's insane. That was nuts. That was nuts. That was close. Let's do it one more time, ladies and gentlemen. One more time. There might be a lot of coping and seething, depending on whose side is coping and who is seething.
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping and seething.
coping so hard. Coping and seething.
And that's going to be it for the Waifu Battle, ladies and gentlemen. Willie Will saluting in the chat. Salute to you, my guys. Salute to all of you. That was an insane Waifu Battle, but Shizuka did come out on top, and she will be going up against another Waifu tomorrow, Hypnocast, 9 p.m. So do not miss it, because that is honestly really fucking shocking. I'm genuinely fucking blown away at that one. Those chair shots at the end were completely unexpected, but well, that's apparently what happened. So I don't really know. I don't know what to make of it. All right, boys, listen. I got 2 more clips I got to play for you guys, and I will do so as we leave the stream. But I just want to thank every single one of you that are hanging out here at the end. I greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it. We went much longer tonight than we normally do, but hey, we were hanging out. It's a return stream, and I appreciate it. I appreciate all you guys that came in and hung out with me. Hopefully you will return tomorrow for more gaming topics, more gaming discussions, as we always do every single day, regardless of, you know, how bad people want that to stop. It's not going to stop until I want it to stop. That's basically it. We're going to keep continuing, and whether that's on YouTube and Rumble or elsewhere, or exclusively on Rumble or whatever, it doesn't matter. We're always going to be hanging out. We're always going to be talking video games for as long as I possibly can. So thank you guys so much for everything. I appreciate it. Shout out to everybody who liked the stream, commented, spammed the chat, super chatted, gifted memberships, gifted games, and was just here. I sincerely appreciate it. And shout out to the Hypno mods for doing what they do every single day. I appreciate you guys as well. They helped out a ton when we were streaming on Rumble exclusively. It's very difficult to keep track of everything there. So I appreciate them very, very much for that. And I will see every single one of you on the next one. And we're gonna raid somebody, because we can actually raid. So stay to the end for the raid, and I will see every single one of you on the next one. Until then, go be bigots and go be gooners. We're gonna do Mr. Spanglish. We're going to give a clip for him now, and then we'll do Willie Will super chat right after that. All right, go be bigots and go be gooners. Bye.
All right, boys, we got another Red Boy Hyper Banger. Let's bring the ladies in.
Hold on, stop the presses. I was going to go into the outro, but a legend showed up in the chat, man. Jeremy Webb. Jeremy Webb, it's good to see you, my man. 16 months of legendary status. He says, man, did I miss you? I'm sorry. I hope you are doing well. I still planned it. Bro, don't worry about sending me shit. I'm just happy that you're good, my guy. Shout out to Jeremy Webb. 16 months of legendary status is crazy, bro. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I'm glad that you're well. Unfortunately, the stream is ending. If I'm able to get my editing done quickly, I plan to do a late night Griffcast just hanging out with people. So if you want to show up for that, you're more than welcome to. But if not, I totally understand. I'll see you on the next one. But I'm glad you're good, bro. I'm glad you're good. Look at this. Dr. Spike with a 1087 for Hinata. Jesus, the trolling never ends. Twisted Master with a 5 says Masato, mate, bro. The trolling never ends. Even Twisted Master's joining in on this, man. Eofo Bacon with a 2 says, I'm not coping, I'm coughing. Sounds like coping. It sounds like coping. Shout out to Jeremy Webb again. Thank you so much, brother, for being here. I appreciate you, my guy. And we'll see you on the next one, man. Go be healthy. And man, it's awesome to see you, man. It really is. It's awesome to see you. All right, boys, we're out of here. Go be bigots, go be gooters. Bye.
Not gay. I have relationships with women and sex with men. And I got news for you. That means you get. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. The dog. Or her cat was named Vagina. Put a ticket in, make her gay. Fuck it, yeah, don't put a ticket in, make her name is gay. Fuck it, yeah, put a ticket in, make her gay. It means put a chicken in a queenie and make her fucking gay. Of the black man, I bring life. I bring life. I bring life. I bring life. I bring life.